If we can remain standing for a short prayer and meditation. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Honorable members, good morning. Yeah, that's a nice salutation. I hope it bodes well for the sitting. Acting Honorable Premier, members of the Executive Council, members of the Provincial Legislature, the Chief Whip, leaders of political parties, ladies and gentlemen, baagi ba Gauteng, dumelang, sanibonani. I have an announcement. The Independent Electoral Commission is visiting the legislature today. So immediately after the sitting, they will be presenting to all members of the legislature on the state of readiness with regard to the upcoming local government elections. So, honorable members, you are therefore requested to remain in the chamber after the sitting has adjourned. Well, there's a survey for catering, and apparently it will be handed out during, no, I think it will be left in the dining room where you eat. So if you could just fill that out, just to give the officials an indication of how you feel about the refreshments and the food that you're served. We have an announcement by members. Member Muri, Action SA. On a announcement, me. Raukupa.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Good morning to colleagues and people of Gauteng. Honorable Speaker, I rise to announce that on the 4th of November 2025, MMC for Finance in Tshwane, Councillor Eugene Modise, made a historic announcement that the city of Tshwane has achieved to break the 4 billion mark in collections in a single month, reaching 4 billion in October 2025. This milestone reflects disciplined governance, modernized systems, and a culture of accountability that delivers results under the leadership of Dr. Moya and the team. Further announces that Dr. Moya has recently been named South Africa's best performing mayor in the 2025 Data EQ Mayors Report. Honorable Speaker, this success stands in stark contrast to the failures of the DA, which left Tshwane in financial instability and service collapse. Where the DA failed, Tshwane now thrives. The city has exceeded its target, outperformed forecasts, and proven that the principled leadership can restore confidence, create jobs, and deliver services.
No, proceed. I was protecting you.
This achievement is not just about numbers, it is about investing in infrastructure, improving essential services, and building opportunity for our people. We thank the residents of Tshwane, we thank businesses, we thank the executive team of Tshwane, the staff and councillors of Tshwane, whose cooperation made this possible. We commend the mayor and the finance team for setting a new benchmark in municipal performance. Tshwane's record collection is proof that accountable leadership working together can actually exceed more. The DA should learn from Action SA and the team in Tshwane, as advised by the Deputy President, Paul Mashatile. I thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, baeng ba fitlhile. Honorable members, baeng ba teng, a re itshwareng. Ka kopo, ka tswetswe. In terms of Rule 81 subsection 1, member statements, we have 11. So, honorable members, we are going to use proportionality. Ne? So, we're going to take 3 from the ANC, 2 from the DA, and 1 from each party. EFF, you have 1 year, so it will be considered. So, and I'm going to take them in the order in which they were received. Action SA, Member Moody. Proceed, Honorable Moody.
Thank you, Speaker. Honorable Speaker, from the very beginning, the Democratic Alliance has marketed itself as the champion of clean governance and accountability. Yet, when its own officials are implicated in scandal, the DA suddenly forgets its script. The recent ENCA checkpoint feature of 26 October 2025 exposed individuals tied to serious governance failures in Gauteng Department of Health, some of whom have and are serving under DA-led administration in Midvaal. And what has been the DA's response? Silence so loud it couldn't drown out the truth. That is the DA's pattern. When scandals erupt in opposition-led municipalities, the DA demands resignations, forensic probes, monks, oversight hearings, and so on. But when the rod is in its own ranks, the rules change, Speaker. The rules change. Accountability cannot be selective. The DA double standards are not only hypocrisy, they are betrayal of the very principle they claim to uphold. And let us be clear, these failures are not just political embarrassment. They collapse services, they cost lives, they destroy jobs. Every time the DA shields its own, it erodes public trust, drives away investment, and deepens unemployment in Gauteng. Governance failures have real consequences for ordinary people. Action SA demands that the DA disclose any internal investigations that it has applied to its standard consistently and support independent oversight without shielding implicated individuals. Let the DA take action against Midvaal officials linked to the Tembisa Hospital scandal. Honorable Speaker, the people of Gauteng expect fairness, justice and jobs. They expect the rule of law applied equally, not selectively. Action SA will continue to hold all officials from every party to the highest standard. And if the DA still insists on playing both referee and player, then perhaps...
Time. Your time, thank you.
Give it. Okay. Then perhaps they should remember you can't blow the whistle when you are the one confronting the foul. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you on fire today?
Okay, Honorable Chairman. Honorable Chairman. Member statement. Okay, if you don't, that's fine. We have here Honorable Mahlabe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Gauteng residents have enjoyed chronic service failures for years, with interventions only gaining agency post President Ramaphosa's March 2025 visit, highlighting the deteriorating infrastructure ahead of the summit. Gauteng people, workers, youth, women and rural communities continue to face persistent disruptions. Potholes and burst pipes have plagued Johannesburg, with over 213,000 reported in 2023 and ongoing issues in 2025, contributing to daily commutes that waste an estimated 37 minutes per resident due to related traffic chaos. Recent G20-linked repairs include 150 million reallocated provincially, address key routes but leave broader networks vulnerable. Despite a comprehensive resilient energy plan for uninterrupted summit power, monitoring OR Tambo, the ICC and hotels, Gauteng saw load reduction stages, e.g. stage 2 in May and June 2025. And sporadic cuts into November with Eskom system fragility persisting after early 2025 returns of shedding. Multiple shutdowns in 2025 include a 21-day outage from June to July affecting Soweto, Randburg, Roodepoort, stemmed from rainwater maintenance with leaks wasting up to 46% of supply. Sewer spills and uncollected waste remain rife in townships. Nearly 50% of Johannesburg 2,000 signalized intersections, about 1,000 malfunctioned in early 2025 due to vandalism and power issues, with provincial signals 251 total, requiring 176 million for full repair. Yet G20 efforts focus on select corridors amid recent sabotage of revamped streetlights and signage along R55. These upgrades, proclaimed permanent on 4th November 2025, coincide with 9.7 billion in provincial transport roads funding, 28 billion over the MTF. Yet, amid broader corruption risks such as the 2 billion Tembisa Hospital scandal, where implicated firms persist in bidding, these allocations demand scrutiny to prevent elite capture. The recent vandalism of G20 signage near Nasrec, described by your administration as coordinated sabotage by armed assailants, highlights not isolated crime but systematic failures in security and maintenance, which breed public frustration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Msimang.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Good morning to you. Good morning to fellow colleagues. Madam Speaker, I would want to advise Memore to use ChatGPT with a little bit of caution. When you do, make sure that the facts that you check in there are actually factual. This person that she's speaking about is not actually an employee of the city of Midvaal, and you can go and check that for yourself. But, Madam Speaker, that being said, I want to then say the silent crisis of Gauteng residents, who in the biblical terms have asked for bread only to be given stone. Simply put, they've asked for effective governance, jobs, safety, economic opportunities, but have recently received nothing but empty promises and worsening conditions under Premier Panyaza Lesufi. It is deeply concerning that our motion has been grossly misconstrued despite its clear intention to hold Premier Lesufi accountable for his administrative failures and the decline in service delivery across our province. Instead of focusing on the core problem it signifies, some individuals amongst us have downplayed its merely concerning as a botched Amapanyaza program. While the Amapanyaza stand as a glaring example of a failure under Premier Lesufi's leadership, our motion extends beyond this single issue. It addresses a number of critical concerns, including the Premier's shielding of corrupt officials by failure to releasing lifestyle audits. And I want to put it on record, Madam Speaker, and here's a copy for you. Premier Panyaza Lesufi had lied to the people of Gauteng and to this House when he says that the SIU has not released the reports. This is letter from the SIU that confirms that these things have been released in March already. So what has he been doing since March instead of releasing these reports? But these are some of the things that we have come to know Premier Lesufi for. We've also want to then put it on record, Madam Speaker, that there is also an ongoing investigation onto the 177 cases of forensic investigations, and we've now learned that there's actually now over 200, and we want to then get to the bottom of this. These issues are not new. They are all known by everyone in this House and to the people of Gauteng. In fact, many of us from different political parties have at one point or another challenged the Premier on the same issues.
Honourable Msimang, your time.
All right, thank you very much, ma'am. But anyone who wants the copy of this letter, they're more than welcome to get it.
Okay. Honourable Miller. Honourable Miller.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In June this year, following complaints from the Democratic Alliance Councillor Cochrane and residents of Mogale City, an illegal dump site was exposed on plot 230 in Rietfontein. The land, which is owned by the Gauteng Department of Roads and Transport, has become an environmental hazard, a place where waste is dumped and burned openly, where toxic smoke fills the air and where polluted runoff threatens nearby water sources. Following my request for investigation, the Department of Environment confirmed these unlawful activities. It issued enforcement action directing the Department of Roads and Transport to clean up and rehabilitate the site. But, Madam Speaker, months later, nothing has changed. What followed is a shameful display of bureaucratic ping-pong. The Department of Roads has referred all inquiries to the Department of Infrastructure, which referred them right back to Roads. At the same time, the Department of Environment, which is responsible for the enforcement, has remained silent and unresponsive to repeated oversight invitations. When I revisited the site last week, it was still burning, still littered with waste, and still being used as an illegal dump site. 3 departments, 1 government-owned property, 0 accountability. Madam Speaker, this is not just about this one dump site. It's about a government that cannot apply its environmental laws to itself. If the Gauteng Department cannot keep its own land clean, how can it be trusted to clean up the rest of Gauteng? The people of Mogale City and Gauteng deserve better. They deserve a government that leads by example, not one that hides and shifts responsibility. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Mela. Honourable Mfigwe.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and greetings to our guests in the gallery and honourable members. Honourable Speaker, the ANC wishes to commend the sterling work undertaken by the Executive Mayor of the City of Johannesburg and his collective in ensuring that the residents of Johannesburg experience a clean and hygienic city they rightfully deserve. At the same time, we strongly condemn the active forces of darkness who seek to throw mud at this remarkable progress. At the forefront of these forces of darkness stands the DA, which initially sought to undermine the preparations surrounding the G20 summit by falsely claiming that we were not ready to host this historic event. Now that it is abundantly clear that we are more than prepared to welcome the world, these same forces have retreated into a new polemic against progress, asserting that the city's cleanup campaign is not meant for our citizens but merely to impress G20 visitors. We urge the people of Gauteng to decisively reject these hollow narratives peddled by perpetual naysayers, obstructionists, chronic pessimists, and enemies of progress. These detractors who masquerade as critics while they actively work to derail transformation. These are not voices of constructive criticism. They are saboteurs of progress, standing against ethical intervention, the revitalization and dignity of our city and its people. Their selective amnesia exposes their dishonesty as they conveniently forget that these cleanup campaigns in Johannesburg began many years before the announcement of the G20 summit. It has evolved over time through various phases. In the same breath, Madam Speaker, I wish to welcome the ruling of the High Court, which found in favour of the City of Johannesburg in the case brought by Siri. The judgment reaffirms the constitutional right and responsibility of the city to regulate informal trading within its jurisdiction in accordance with the principles of law and order and safety, as well as inclusive and sustainable economic development of all which remains sacrosanct and for the benefit of South Africans. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Mfigwe. Honourable Chokwe.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Good morning to the House. Honourable Speaker, I rise today to commend the Gauteng Provincial Government under the leadership of Premier Panyaza Lesufi and the Department of Social Development under the MEC Faith Mazibuko for a successful launch of the Tswada massification campaign against substance abuse that took place on the 27th of October 2025. This campaign, supported by the Department of Health, Community Safety, Education, Sports, Art and Culture, as well as the South African Police Services, reflect the ANC's commitment to a coordinated, people-centered response to social challenges. Honourable Speaker, the devastating impact of substance abuse, particularly Nyaope and crystal meth, continue to tear apart families and destroy the future of our young people. These substances are highly addictive, causing not only physical dependence, but severe psychological and social harm. They fuel crime, deepen poverty, and erode the social fabric of our community. With the powerful theme of breaking the chains, prevention and treatment and recovery for all, the Tswada campaign brought service directly to the people. It expanded prevention, early intervention, treatment efforts across all 5 corridors of our province. This was the first campaign of its kind in South Africa, and its results speaks for themselves. There were targeted about 13,759 beneficiaries, and there were more than 13,000 that were admitted. Importantly, the work did not end on that day of the launch. Post-campaign follow-ups continue, including medical assessment, family support, halfway house, and skills development program to support the lasting recovery and reintegration. However, Honorable Speaker, we recognize a challenge within our current legislative framework. The Prevention of the Treatment for Substance Abuse Act allows voluntary service users aged 18 and above to discharge themselves from the treatment at any time. So that is why the families just see their children coming back. This often leads to premature exit and the relapse and revolving the door cycle that undermines the recovery. We therefore propose the legislation must be looked at and the review must be done better for young people aged 18 and 25. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chokwe. Honorable Makwala.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Constitutional Court of the Republic has been seized with the Phala matter for a while now. We say this having considered that a criminal case was opened against President Cyril Ramaphosa on the 1st of June 2022. The House must recall the seriousness of the allegations leveled against the President. These include money laundering, corruption and bribery, owing to money that was found illegally stashed in his private residency, esconded in sofas and mattresses. The House must further recall that all of this happens in the aftermath of an independent parliamentary process, which found that the President has a case to answer, for there is a valid prima facie evidence of wrongdoing on his part. The EFF is bothered by our society's double standards. Recent memory directs us to the knowledge of the swiftness of civil society, the media, and the political opposition when it was faced with rampant corruption in the make of the Nkandla saga. Everyone, including members of this House, worked very hard to ensure that the thieving crook from Nkandla is brought to book, and that he accounts for the senseless splashing of taxpayers' money on his personal homestead. Indeed, even the highest court of land moved with great haste not to only condone President Jacob Zuma, but it also ordered him to pay back the money. This was a massive victory, not for the EFF, but also for the people of South Africa, who had grown weary of a government that still is with impunity. A thorough reading of the Constitutional Court judgment in the Nkandla matter leads to 3 indubitable conclusions. 1, Chapter 9 institutions have an essential role to play in protecting and upholding democracy. 2, the legislature was complicit in the corruption in Nkandla because it neglected its oversight role. And 3, nobody is above the law. It should be a source of a major concern, Madam Speaker, for all upright South Africans that the very same court that spoke unflinchingly and without mincing its words is now dragging its feet when it comes to the Phala scandal. All of this takes place at a time when our criminal justice system is under scrutiny, following demanding allegations of brazen corruption within the South African Police Service and as well as the judiciary. Put simply, the ongoing testimonies as to both the Madlanga Commission and as well as the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee gives a reason to believe that even courts and judges can be unduly influenced by cartels, gang leaders and influential politicians. The EFF wishes to remind this House of 2 long-standing legal principles that are embosomed by all countries that respect the law, the rule of law. Justice must not only be done, but it must also be seen to be done, and that justice must not have eyes, in essence, that it needs to apply to everybody indiscriminately. It is against this background, Madam Speaker, that the EFF invites all South Africans to join it, to march to the Constitutional Court on the 28th of November 2025. For this, we organize this march to unapologetically demand for the Constitutional Court to respect the very law that it established, the Constitution. The EFF demands for the Phala matter to be expedited and for justice to not only be done, but also to be seen to be done.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Makwala. Honorable Makubela. Honorable Makubela.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Firstly, let me congratulate Honorable Dr. Chokwe, who graduated with his second PhD. And he says to us the reason why he did his second PhD is because his first PhD, he had to graduate virtually. And he did not feel like an honor enough. And he decided to do his second PhD because he wanted to do it physically. Madam Speaker, the African National Congress rises with great pride to commend the Office of the Premier for once again achieving a clean audit outcome for the 2024-2025 financial year. As confirmed in the OCPOL presentation delivered on the 13th of August 2025, this milestone marked 12 consecutive years of clean audits, a rare and distinguished record that reaffirms the Premier's office as the administrative anchor of a capable, ethical, and developmental state. A clean audit, Madam Speaker, signifies that the office's financial statements are free of material misstatements and that there are no adverse findings on the compliance or performance reporting. This achievement is not merely an accounting milestone. It represents ethical stewardship, institutional integrity, and the disciplined use of public resources to advance the developmental agenda of our province. Madam Speaker, the ANC's 2019 election manifesto called for the building of a capable, ethical, and developmental state that serves the people and delivers quality services efficiently. Furthermore, the 55th National Conference Resolution on Renewal and Governance emphasized strengthening accountability, consequence management, and public sector professionalism. And Madam Speaker, the Office of the Premier's performance is a living embodiment of these resolutions of the ANC. By achieving 59% of its annual performance plan targets in the first quarter of the 2025-2026 spending, and spending 40% of its budget prudently, the office demonstrates that fiscal discipline and effective service delivery can coexist. This progress ensures that Gauteng remains a model of clean, responsive, and people-centered governance.
Your time,
the ANC
Honorable
salutes the
Makubela.
Office of the Premier. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Makubela. Honorable Ali.
Like a butterfly.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Today, the 11th day of the 11th month, some countries will observe Remembrance Day, the day of armistice, which brought an end to the First World War. Today, we on the southern tip of Africa may be free from conflict in the typical sense, but a silent war rages in the retail sector. Black Pick n Pay franchisees are bleeding. Madam Speaker, they are hemorrhaging. It is a bloodbath, and we are all quiet. These are not the mini market stores that MEC Maile and I were fortunate enough to assist earlier this year, but these are the outright franchisees. Here's the retailer's modus operandi. Once a franchisee starts to show any little signs of success, Pick n Pay head office offers to buy the store at a fraction of the cost. If the franchisee refuses, head office will make their life a living hell. They will cannibalize the store by surrounding it with boxer stores or conduct an outright hostile takeover. Izenzo ze Pick n Pay emalokishini zingcolile, zimdaka, zikhohlakele. We are calling for an inquiry into Pick n Pay's operations in the townships. Yesterday, a man's workers broke down at the CCMA because head office shut their store and culled their jobs with immediate effect. That man is here today. He is sitting next to a woman who was barred from entering a store that she invested millions into because of Pick n Pay's cruelty. 31 black-owned Pick n Pay stores have been closed because of the retailer. I am calling for an inquiry into Pick n Pay's operations in the township. MEC Maile, if you love black business, we are calling for you to intervene. Do not turn a blind eye. We are calling for an inquiry into Pick n Pay's operations in the township. This will go down in history, just as the day of armistice, as the day when they pleaded for your help. Do not ignore their cry. But if you do, MEC Maile, Let it be known that we tried. I thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, honorable members. Motion without notice in terms of Rule 120, there's none. Giving notice of a motion in terms of Rule 121, there's none. Apologies, we have an apology from the Premier. Honorable Maile has been appointed as acting Premier. Okay, we have an apology from Honorable Masuku, who's writing exams. Honorable Dia Letlavela is also on study leave. Honorable Simatla is also on study leave. Okay. Apologies from the DA. Honorable Silius is on study leave. Honorable Madzebatela, party business. Honorable Ncheke, party business. Honorable Moriarty, honorable party business, agent rather, party business. Honorable Chabalala is also an agent, party business. Honorable Robinson is also on party business. Those are the apologies that we have received. We do have stakeholders amongst ourselves. Honorable members, we have the Tribal Authority of Maruta Makhane Urban Tribal Authority. I hope I pronounced that properly. I'm reading what is written here. Maruta Amakhane Urban Tribal and Authority Royal Council. They wrote it. We have also community members from Sebokeng in Sidibeng, senior citizens from Davidton and in Ekurhuleni. Sure. I hope I'm going to pronounce this properly. Ria Web or Ria Web, Naturals Empowerment Projects. They are from Hammanskraal in Tshwane. We also have community members from Soshanguve and from Soweto. Just a gentle reminder, you do not participate in what is going on in the house, including taking photos. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to clap hands. Secretary, could you please read us the first order? Hold on. There's a request that, and it was agreed to in the meeting in the morning. Just hold on. Honorable Maile, in his capacity as the acting Premier, has requested that we move and I didn't read your apology, Honorable Maile. That will also include the apology. That we move his responses on behalf of the Premier forward because he has requested to leave the House early. Front desk, that's also an apology. Just note that properly. Thanks. Let me just get to the questions. Okay, so honorable members, what we'll do, we'll take the questions that Honorable Maile has to respond to on behalf of the Premier, and then we'll go back to our normal program. To the first order. Okay. Honorable Mhlakaza, your question to the acting Premier. Honorable Mhlakaza Manamela, your question? Yes. Your question, we are going to questions. Let me just explain it again, honorable members, so that everybody is on the same page. There is a request from Honorable Maile in his acting capacity as Premier that we prioritize the questions that he has to respond to because he has asked to leave the House early. So as soon as we are done with the questions that he responds to, we go back to your normal program. Ra tlhaloganyana ke re bagolo. Ke a leboga. Honorable Mhlakasa.
Oh, kanene. ABCD.
My number 1.
Kutlamna. Ngikulela usoli ngithi kutlamna. Ekaxaba. Ekaxaba.
We're still looking for a question, Speaker.
Speaker, you can go to the, please. Okay, please go to the second question.
Let's just open
Ay man. Ngixaba.
Are you ready? Okay. Okay. No, it's fine. I understand, honorable members. Yeah, just hold on. Honorable Makwala, can you get your question ready, please? You'll be next after. Okay. Proceed, please, honorable member.
Acting Premier, the Gauteng provincial government under Premier Lusufi has elevated crime and lawlessness as one of the issues that must be tackled head-on in keeping our communities safe in Gauteng. Recently, the community of Zitobeni Extension 9 in the far east of Tshwane experienced a deadly shooting that claimed 5 lives in a tavern, and it is alleged that this crime was committed with illegal firearms. Can the MEC respond to the following? What systems does the Department of Community Safety have in place to prevent and curb these kind of incidents from happening in our communities? 2, what challenges confront the law enforcement agencies in getting rid of illegal firearms? And 3, in the case of Qetugoma Tavern, where these patrons met their untimely death, what were the preliminary findings as it relates to the trading license status of this establishment? Acting Premier, thank you.
Honorable Maina.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thanks for the question, Honorable Member. The answer to the first question is that SAPS in Tshwane is conducting weekly flash operations aimed at shutting down illegal liquor outlets and ensuring that licensed establishments operate in compliance with the conditions set out in their licenses as stipulated in the Gauteng Liquor Act of 2003 and other applicable legislation. Operation Shanyela, a multifaceted initiative that includes various law enforcement agencies such as Tshwane Metro Police, Gauteng Traffic Department, and the Department of Home Affairs, among others, carries out high-density operations on a weekly basis to combat this and other related crimes. Question 2, the limited flow of information from community members continues to pose a challenge as many are hesitant to share details with the police concerning illegal firearms. Nevertheless, the police remain committed to intensifying efforts against the proliferation of illegal firearms through initiatives such as Operation Shanyela, high-density deployments, and other targeted disruptive operations. The last question, during the investigation, it was determined that the owner of the Qetugoma Tavern possessed a valid trading license. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Premier, Acting Premier. Honorable Mhlakasa, do you have a short remark or supplementary question? Okay. Honorable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, are now open for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay, no, thank you very much. Honorable Makwala.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Greetings to the acting Premier. In terms of repurposing the crime prevention wards, can the MEC answer the following questions? One, where will the budget of repurposing crime prevention wardens as part of the Gauteng Traffic Police and Special Law Enforcement Unit be sourced? What is the estimated budget for this repurposing, including training costs? Can the MEC explain the approach to phasing out the wardens and the associated costs? The Public Protector's Office stated that the provincial government lacked the authority to exercise policing powers. One, can the MEC respond to Office of the Public Protector who deemed the establishment of the crime prevention wardens as irregular, and of the total number of wardens, how many will be absorbed into the Gauteng Traffic Wardens, the Special Law Enforcement Unity and Municipal By-Law Enforcement to ensure none lose their jobs?
Thank you very much, Honorable Magwala. Honorable Acting Premier.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thanks for the question, Honorable Member. The answer to the first question is that, as you know, and in fact, in the next question that is asked by the member of EFF, which is asked by Member Maluka, she's asking specifically about the budget. I will be dealing with that issue. So, in short, the program is budgeted for. As you know, the Department of Community Safety, you will remember, we allocated them 2.3 billion. So in the budget, there's an item for traffic wardens. There is a budget that is allocated, as you are aware. On question 2, the department is finalizing its internal planning processes, which will assist to determine if there will be a need for additional funding for training. That's what they're doing. But in the next question, you'll see I'm giving details about how much it's costing us, and one of the items is training. So that's why I'm saying if we're to fast track, because the Public Protector has given us time frames, it might mean that we might need additional resources. That's why we will have to undergo through this process and look at the directive of the Public Protector. The Gauteng Traffic Wardens Program is not being phased out, Honourable Member, as the province awaits the certification from the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, and the traffic wardens will be trained and repurposed to serve as Gauteng Traffic Police, amongst others. So there will be other things that they could do, and the intention is to ensure that no one loses their job. On the next question, the province will respond to the Public Protector report in line with the timelines outlined in the report. Furthermore, it is important to note that the province has engaged the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development on the proclamation of powers to be exercised by traffic wardens in line with the Road Traffic Act 29 of 1989. And the last question, the department is in the process of developing a revised concept document to implement the repurposing of the traffic wardens, and the concept document is intended to be finalized by end of Q3. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Acting Premier. Honorable Makwala, thank you. Honorable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay, thank you very much. Honorable Maluka.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. In light of the Premier's pronouncement of the disbandment of the crime prevention wardens, can the MEC answer the following questions? What is the total cost spent in salaries since the inception of the wardens? 2, what has been total operational cost, including the amount spent on cars, uniform from the inception of the program till date? 3, in terms of the establishment of the wardens, can the MEC brief us with regards to the process that led to the establishment of the wardens? Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Acting Premier.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The answer to question 1 is that and during the year 2023-2024, inclusive of other items, it was more than 452 million. In 2024-2025, 711 million plus. 2025 and 2026, 381 million plus. And you'll see, the next question, they describe items. So for their stipends in 2023-2024 was 452, and then 711, as I've indicated, 381. And then there was cost of training, including accommodation. In 2022-2023, it was 66. 2023-2024 to 24, 2024-2025, about 76. So all those details are there, which will give, including for uniforms, for vehicles, the fleet services, other tools of trade, vehicle licensing, injury on duty, and by 2025-2026, the total has been 570,804,000. In terms of the next question, the establishment of the Gauteng Traffic Wardens as a force multiplier to support existing law enforcement agencies was premised on the high crime rate within the province, and this was further exacerbated by poor visible policing by the South African Police Service as identified by the 5-year policing plan. And the following process was undertaken. The recruitment process commenced on the 22nd of November 2022 and concluded on the 5th of December 2022. The recruitment process consisted of the advertisement, shortlisting of received applications for physical assessment, and a written assessment. The recruitment process was overseen by 5 recruitment panels. Subsequent to the recruitment process, basic training commenced on the 1st of February 2023. The training of the GTWs consists of 2 key phases: basic training and on-the-job training. The basic training, conducted over a period of 3 months, introduced recruits to fundamental law enforcement principles and practices. This includes drill, physical training, radio communication, procedures, constitutional law, the law of evidence, peace officer training, the code of conduct, disciplinary procedures, protocol, professional conduct, the Criminal Procedure Act, and the points duty. Following this phase, the traffic wardens proceeded on the job training alongside existing law enforcement agencies. This phase equips them with practical skills in areas such as land invasion management, drone piloting, control room operations, protection of critical infrastructure, crowd control, law enforcement administration, foot patrols, tactical stops and approaches, searches and legal aspects related to firearm handling. Training and development for the wardens remains an ongoing process until they are fully qualified as traffic officers in accordance with the directives of the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development. On the 23rd of June, the province brought an application to the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development. In application, the province acknowledged that there is no specific legislation that formally established the wardens. However, the province has based the establishment on existing legal frameworks and the policy instruments. This includes the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, the Civilians Secretariat for Police Service Act of 2011, the White Paper on Safety Security 2016, the National Development Plan, the Integrated Crime and Violence Prevention Strategy, and the Gauteng Growing Gauteng Together 2020-30 plan. Collectively, these frameworks provide the constitutional, legislative, strategic, and policy basis for the creation and implementation of the wardens. Upon receipt of the application, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development established an interministerial task team consisting of Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development as the chairperson, Minister of Police, Gauteng Premier, and the member of Executive Council for Community Safety in Gauteng, In turn, this ministerial committee established the Legal Technical Task Team chaired by the Deputy Director General Legislative Development from the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development. Members of this task team included legal services from SAPS, state law advisors from the Office of the Premier, Gauteng, and the legal services from the Department of Community Safety. On the 12th of December 2023, the Ministerial Committee pronounced that the traffic wardens can attain peace officer status. They must follow the similar route as the provincial traffic officers. This then necessitated the change from crime prevention wardens to traffic wardens. Thus, the province commenced with the training of the traffic wardens course. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Acting Premier. Honorable Maluka, do you have a supplementary question or a short remark?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, are now open for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay. Honorable Ngobeni, for the EFF, your question to MEC for Economic Development. Okay, I did announce the rearrangement of the program. So what I will do is I will take, just listen to what I'm saying. I'll take somebody else just to give you time to arrange, but here there's Honorable Ngobeni, there's Honorable Masilela, and Honorable Ngobeni again, if you can get them back into the House. Meanwhile, honorable members, let's take Honorable Mfikwe to MEC for Economic Development. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. To our MEC for Economic Development, considering the reported high rate of unemployment in our country, can the MEC for Economic Development answer the following questions? Number one, how is the province enhancing quality and relevance of workplace experience components, talking about internships and learnerships in skills programs, so that participants are effectively work-ready and attractive to employers upon completion of the program? Two, beyond placement into programs, what specific interventions is the province taking to improve the actual job absorption rate of graduates of its major youth skills programs into formal sustainable employment? And number three, what strategies are pursued to equip young people, particularly in townships and disadvantaged communities, not only with technical skills, but also critical entrepreneurial skills towards self-employment and small business development as a driver of local economic growth? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mfikwe. Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Speaker, and thanks to the Honourable Member. The answer to the first question, the province continues to strengthen the quality and relevance of workplace-based learning through a coordinated skills development framework that aligns training interventions with identified skills gaps in the provincial economy. The department has appointed 75 interns and learners, and other departments also have appointed, the figure that I don't have for the other departments. On question two, beyond placement into programs, another intervention is that the interns are absorbed through a normal recruitment process when the positions are advertised for junior level positions. On question three, the department is implementing what we call the high impact delivery model in the Township Economic Development Act, where implementing partners, and this is the private sector, are appointed based on the process that has been developed. The implementing partners are implementing these projects with the budget that is provided by the department to provide technical skills, machinery and equipment, product testing and certification, stock for sponsor shops and mentorship and coaching. The terms of reference, service level agreements and contracts that were approved clearly state that implementing partners upon completion of training must implement an exit strategy, which is to place the beneficiaries into job opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Supplementary question or a short remark, Honorable Mfikwe?
Not a question, Madam Speaker, just maybe through the Office of the Speaker to the Leader of Government Business, that if we could get a government-wide comprehensive report on the learnerships and the internships that the provincial government is offering to our learners so that we have a global Gauteng picture. Thank you very much. Thanks, MEC.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay, Honourable Ngobeni, your question to MEC for Economic Development.
No, thank you very much, Speaker. With regards to the weekly supplier workshops that are currently being conducted by the department, can the MEC answer the following questions? One, what has been the general turnout by small businesses to these workshops? In terms of a weekly average, how many SMEs would the department say actively attend the workshops? The MEC has stated on several occasions that according to the priorities of this current administration, as well as his own departmental focuses, economic development will take an approach that is more targeted towards township economic development. What tracking has there been to ensure that initiatives such as the supply workshops have direct output to township-based enterprises? And lastly, these workshops are in nature directed towards SMEs, yet they have not lived up to intended indicators in terms of locating SMEs that are based in the townships. Seeing that they mostly take place in Johannesburg, Marshalltown, can the MEC comment on whether or not these workshops will be facilitated in the near future within actual townships where SMEs are based, thus making the skills and training needed more accessible to township economy?
Thank you very much, Honourable Ngobeni. Honourable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, and thanks to the Honourable Member for the question. Answer to the first question is that there's been good turnout at the Wednesday weekly sessions with an average attendance of at least 60 MSMEs each week. Question 2, the department continues to host targeted sessions for youth, women and persons with disabilities in various townships. This targeted approach also takes into account the different sectors of the economy. The recent example is the construction sector compliance workshop held at Brickvale in Terralton construction site in August 2025. During these sessions, relevant stakeholders were invited to ensure that sector-specific issues are effectively addressed. Question 3, in terms of monitoring and evaluation forms are used weekly to collect direct and immediate feedback from participants. Additionally, the department, through its communication unit, will begin visiting some of the SMMEs that have participated in the program over the years to profile them and track their progress since attending the sessions. Through these workshops, MSMEs are linked to various support programs that provide access to market, including initiatives such as PCAT, exhibition opportunities, and other departmental programs tailored to sector-specific needs. For example, the department, through GEP, implemented an enterprise and supply development program focusing on product testing, readiness, and enhancement. The main objective of the supply development sessions is to assist SMMEs with compliance matters and to enhance their understanding of government processes and regulations related to the awarding of economic opportunities such as tenders and quotations. These sessions also serve as a networking platform for SMMEs to connect and support one another. Last question. Although these sessions are primarily held in Johannesburg, the majority attendees are MSMEs based in the townships. To ensure broader reach and accessibility, the department continues to collaborate with municipalities and business chambers to host these sessions across various townships in Gauteng. In partnership with the city of Tshwane, the department has conducted sessions focusing on local content compliance. Similar roadshows have also been held for school uniform cooperatives in collaboration with the Department of Social Development, with the most recent sessions hosted in partnership with the City of Johannesburg in Galfontein. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Honorable Ngobeni, do you have a supplementary question or a short remark?
No, I take note, Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay, thank you very much. Honorable Masilela, your question to Honorable MEC.
Thank you, Speaker. The department committed to cleaning its house and getting its affairs in order must heed to calls of the opposition. When we raise dissatisfaction with the performance of DAD, we do not do so out of populism, but rather out of genuine concern, out of the impacts delayed Oh yeah, we call it worker. We are not fighting.
You found it, Honorable Masilela. Proceed.
Thank you. As a native of Mabopane, it is most heartbreaking to witness the decline and the decay of what was formerly known as Murulasani Hotel, a leading hotel and a casino established in the heart of township during the apartheid era. For years, this casino drew thousands to Mabopane. However, since the departure of Sun International, their premises have become a shadow of their former selves. This is also the case with Garangwa Zone 15 Industrial Park, which used to host numerous factories where our people will be employed. Now, most of the companies have withdrawn from the area, leaving unsecured factories and the people of Garangwa without jobs. This is concerning as it points to the decline in overall economic activities and the absence of economic opportunities in the northern part of Gauteng. Can the MEC answer the following question on this? Community members have indicated that the departure of Sun International was granted by the Gauteng Gambling Board. Can the department confirm this? If that is the case, is the department aware that the CIC commitments on Sun International were to the Committee of Mopani as a condition for them departing Mopani, as committees claim that Sun International had to establish a gaming academy, but that was never done? How can the department intervene in the Murulasan, now called Gold Rush, matter to boost the entity and restore to the greater heights of the purpose of propelling the township economy in Mabopane? And in terms of industrial park in zone 16 and 15, how can the department, working collectively with other stakeholders and government entities, secure investment and revive the industrial park to create jobs of the community of Garangwa? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thanks for the question, Honorable Member. The department confirms that on 17 July 2014, the Gauteng Gambling Board approved Sun International application to relocate the Murulasan casino license from Mabopane to mainland Main in Tshwane State. The background is as follows. Murulasan Casino was previously under the jurisdiction of Northwest before 2006. So following the Cross-Boundary Municipalities Laws Repeal and Related Matters Act of 2005, the casino was relocated to the Gauteng province effective 01 March 2006. So the Gambling Board didn't just decide. It is because of the demarcation at the time. As you know, the area was in Northwest. So as a result, because the licenses, every province is allocated a certain number of casino licenses. So when the area was in Northwest, it meant that Gauteng numbers were not balancing, hence the application to relocate this site. And the casino was relocated to the Gauteng province effective 1 March 2006. As a result, it fell under the regulatory authority of GGB. A license was issued by the Gauteng Gambling Board to Sun International to give effect to the above. And I think, Honourable Member, you will be glad to know that the Minister is currently consulting provinces to look at the possibility of increasing licenses. And if that process is done, we might have to look at how do we work on this. During the April 2014, Sun International submitted an application to GGB to relocate the Morula Sun casino license from Mabopane to Sun Times Square in Main Lane, Maine. The application included a request for the transfer of the casino license, an increase in gambling positions, and the additions of craps and SIG to be authorized licensed games. Question 2, the department is aware of what the CSI commitments of Sun International were to the community of Mabopane, and the following are the findings after an investigation was conducted, and this is after it was brought to our attention. So I then asked the Gambling Board to establish if Sun International established a gaming academy. Sun International's commitment was to provide an independent hospitality and gaming training academy, subsidize the academy for not less than 950 million, which may include Morula land and improvements of the property. Several presentations were made to the Gambling Board by Sun International with no finality due to problems experienced with the Morula land, and Sun International did not own the Morula land but was leasing same from the Northwest Housing Corporation, and other factors that related to their partnership with an international hotel school. During 2017, Sun International made applications to the Gambling Board for the relocation of the International Hotel School and Gaming and Training Academy from Mabopane to mainland Pretoria. The application was subsequently approved in July 2027 for the relocation of the International Hotel School and Gaming and Training Academy to mainland Pretoria, and subsidy was kept at not less than 950 million. Further, the youth from community of Mabopane area are included in the bursaries and learnership programs as outlined by Sun International to the GGB. However, this seems not to have been communicated to the community by Sun International. Sun International committed that 367 students will be afforded bursaries from the Soshanguve area over a period of 30 years. It is important to highlight that Sun International was advised by Gambling Board to respond directly to the allegation raised by the community concerning unfulfilled commitments, since the Gambling Board was not present during the discussions or agreements related to these commitments. On question 3, the land on which Morula Sun is built is not owned by Sun International, but by the Northwest Housing Corporation. The department will have to explore alternative ways to use that land instead of a gambling establishment. Number 4, reviving industrial parks across Gauteng City region remains a strategic priority for the department, precisely as it aligns with the department's economic development strategy. Key to the industrial park revitalization or economic revival of these industrial spaces is the understanding of the underlying issues and challenges faced by these parks that consequentially have negative impact on the business environment and essentially the investment competitiveness of these spaces. Having conducted a conditional assessment of the park and engaged businesses at the Garangwa Industrial Park, the following key challenges, amongst others, were identified, meaning there is some work that we have done. That's why we have identified these challenges. Firstly, safety and security. Secondly, lack of service delivery, water, sanitation, electricity, road infrastructure, stormwater management, street lighting, and waste management. Decaying infrastructure, outstanding debt to the city of Tshwane by the Northwest Development Corporation, and general lack of maintenance of the park. The resolve of the above-mentioned challenges, as well as the maintenance of the park, is critical for the attraction and retention of investors, as well as the creation of jobs within the industrial park. And maybe just to indicate, Honourable Member, I've been to the park myself and the MEC of Economic Development in Northwest, and I have a meeting with the Mayor of Tshwane, who has asked for an intervention on this matter to follow up on the issues of the park. The department, as part of its attempt to address the challenges identified, retain investors and attract new investment into the park, we have to do the following. Through provincial IGR, the province has established a high-level province-to-province with Northwest, because the park is owned by Northwest, and that's what complicates the matter. So we have working with them, working with the city of Tshwane and many other agencies. Two, through the Gauteng Growth and Development Agency, we are part of the Ga-Rankuwa Business Forum as provincial government. And this is a multi-stakeholder business forum led by private sector. The forum meets monthly to discuss and track structures, or rather, in this structure is to ensure that issues raised during the meeting are escalated and followed up. Three, a multi-stakeholder industrial park forum comprising of GGDA, Northwest Development Corporation, City of Tshwane, ESCOM, South African Police Services, and business in the industrial park has been established and convenes monthly to discuss and follow up on issues. The challenges at Ga-Rankuwa Industrial Park are complex and require coordinated intervention across all spheres of government. And I must also mention that the Minister of Small Businesses has shown interest in helping and to also contribute resources towards this. So immediate action to resolve issue of ownership of the industrial park, restore infrastructure, improve security, and resolve utility issues will help stabilize the park, retain existing investors, and attract new investment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. MEC Honorable Masilela, a supplementary question or short remark?
Thank you, Speaker. Short remarks. Thank you for the response, MEC. Can you please finish us with the response? And again, can we really look as the department with those apartheid places, like even when it comes to housing? Most of the things we suffer because we can't resolve issues because of always is Northwest. So all those that have been, like Morulasan is now in Gauteng, can we really communicate also with the residents so that they can be informed, the community of Mabopane? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Masilela. In terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay, thank you very much, honorable members. Honorable Ngobeni, your questions to MEC Economic Development.
No, thanks, Speaker. With regards to the 490 million allocated towards strategic economic infrastructure projects over the medium-term expenditure framework, can the MEC answer the following? What are the immediate priority projects that the department will be focusing the budget allocation on? How many of these projects can the department say will be completed or at least sitting at 80% completion before the end of this year? And in many parts of the province, a substantial amount of infrastructure projects have been either delayed or disrupted, causing projects to go unfinished or miss their targeted completion dates due to a presence of so-called construction mafias. What has been the response to the department? What has been the response of the department in ensuring that the budget allocated to infrastructure is also proactive against delays that may emanate from such groupings? For example, does the department have any sort of mechanism that aims to mitigate these sorts of external factors, and what is the rapport between the Department of Economic Development and the Department of Infrastructure Development?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thanks to the Honorable Member for the question. The answer to the first question is that Constitution Hill, which has got 3 projects under construction, and then the GIDZ at OR Tambo, Precinct 2, which is bulk infrastructure, the VAL SEZ, which is bulk infrastructure projects, and 2 industrial parks, one in the city of Tshwane and one in the city of Joburg. Question 2, The answer is that the construction of We the People and refurbishment of the ramparts and surrounding walls at Constitution Hill will reach completion in this financial year. And in many parts of the province, a substantial amount of infrastructure projects have been either delayed or disrupted, causing projects to go unfinished. I think, what am I doing now? Okay, so I said those two will complete this year, and the rest will be in the outer years, but we will be able to furnish the committee with the details on the different milestones as they proceed. But I can assure you that all the projects are alive, meaning that there is a contractor in all the projects. Question 3, none of the GGDA's infrastructure projects has been affected by disruptions or delays linked to so-called mafia. So there has been disruption, but these are genuine SMMEs, not mafias. And that's why we have been able to resolve those issues within 2 to 3 days, so that we don't behave like racists who call every SMME that raises their concerns mafias. Mafias are organized and coordinated. So these are not mafias, they are SMMEs. And that's why when we speak with them, we are able to establish that they are SMMEs, they want opportunities, and genuinely so, you are able to find one another. So not everything is a mafia, Honorable Dr. Bloom. Stakeholder engagements are conducted. Stakeholder engagements are conducted prior to project commencement to secure community buy-in and participation from local beneficiaries and SMMEs. This helps build cooperation and support the community level. However, should such issues arise, there is a unit within the Office of the Premier that GGGA can engage, which deals specifically with such matters. Thank you very much, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Honorable Ngobeni? Okay, thank you. Honorable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay, thank you very much. Honorable Letsoalo, your question to MEC Economic Development.
Thank you so much. Let me appreciate the opportunity, Madam Speaker, but greetings to the residents of Gauteng and our guests here. Well, I think we stand at the cusp of greatness in that the Department of Economic Development would have reflected themselves on an intervention which heralds a new dispensation in respect of the regulatory regime pertaining to gambling in our province. And I think, given that the majority of the residents of Gauteng will be aware that there's a proposed Gauteng Gambling Amendment Bill that is on the cards, the following questions are then preferred on behalf of these residents so that there's a greater clarity. But it is also part of public participation, if you will. MEC, the residents of Gauteng would want to know how the department intends to modernize the gambling regulations and whether there are adapted systems and instruments already in place to complement such efforts. I think that's the first question. Secondly, what mechanisms would the department use to ensure a balance in the strengthening of the regulations by ensuring greater compliance, such as making it relatively easier for both operators and players to comply in ways that avoids a reversion to illegal gambling platforms? Number 3, illegal operations undermine legitimate businesses and provincial tax revenue, so the ability of the province to collect revenue. What enforcement tools will the Gauteng Gambling Board used to ensure online gambling compliance, and what estimates of economic benefit does the province expect from mitigating such illegal operations? I'm sure we all appreciate that illegal operations do implicate the fiscus in a way that is adverse. Number 4, what percentage of additional gambling revenue will be allocated to youth skills development, township businesses, or infrastructure programs to generate broader economic derivative? I think those are the questions. Thank you very much, Missy, and to you, the Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Letswano. Honorable Emisi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and thanks for the question. I think the honourable member will appreciate that the draft bill is coming to the House, so the House will be able to deal with it in details. We have gathered our thoughts, and I don't see Member Muriati. I saw he's asking me question, and Member Madzibaden about this as well. I'll advise them not to proceed because this is the question. It's almost the same. The draft Gauteng Gambling Amendment Bill envisages a legislative framework in which the board realizes the revenue potential flowing from gambling activities, respond and address problems and challenges caused by regulatory weaknesses. The introduction of the use of technology in the gambling landscape has transformed the industry and consequently made gambling more convenient and comfortable for participants. The board considers modernization in the gambling sector not as a destination, as it is an ongoing journey which requires constant evolution and adaptation. The technological changes brought unavoidable consequences in the entire gambling sector. The most critical disruption and tragic revenue losses are in the casino, limited payout machines, and bingo industries. At the other spectrum of gambling mode is the bookmakers, who have witnessed an exponential revenue growth due to various factors, including the use of technology, wider contingencies, amongst other things. And the regulatory framework proposes technological tools like remote gambling, electronic monitoring systems, and furthermore investigate the introduction of other new technologies in the gambling industry. Question 2, the bill proposes the widening of contingencies that bookmakers will be permitted to offer to punters, accessibility of gambling modes through various electronic devices, including the use of internet, enhance collaboration with all stakeholders in the gambling industry, especially the Gauteng Off-Course Bookmakers Association and the South African Bookmakers Association. Question 3, since its inception, the composition of the board as proposed in the Gambling Amendment Bill will include a person with experience and expertise in the law enforcement sector. This appointment will assist in strengthening resources through forced collaboration with law enforcement agencies, and this will lead to improved rates and closures of illegal gambling outlets. The collaboration and partnerships with law enforcement agencies across the province and national will ensure technological skills transfer and best practices for improved online gambling compliance and the closure of any illegal online gambling platform. Answer to number 4, the Gambling Amendment Bill also introduces a new fund referred to as Development and Transformation Fund, which I hope honourable members from the DA will support. The Development and Transformation Fund to respond to similar challenges as identified. The amendment also proposes the inclusion in the composition of the board a person with expertise in the field of socio-economic development with aim of using that expertise to attract more investors in the proposed development fund. The fund is geared at promoting access to finance to nascent organizations that want to enter in gambling sector. The proposals underscore the importance of ensuring that the gambling tax revenue benefits the broader sectors of the population, especially the marginalized. I must indicate, Honourable Member, that the gambling amendment bill will be most likely discussed by EXCO next week, Wednesday, and then we will ask right to the Speaker to ask for the acceleration of the bill. So it's one of the bills we think, because we are losing a lot of money, at least $1 billion per annum, at least. That is an estimation, but it's far much more than that. So we will ask members of this House to help us fast-track that bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honourable MEC. Honourable Letwalo, a short remark or supplementary question if you have.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I think I must appreciate the response. It is essentially an affirmation that the department is well positioned to complement, but also respond to some of those notable challenges. And I think, in a way, it also meets with the expectations of the transformation, modernization, reindustrialization outlook, including the provincial objectives on economic development overall. I think we must appreciate the response. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honourable Letwalo. Honourable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay. Honourable Clever, your question to MEC for Finance.
Greetings, Speaker. Greetings to honourable members and the House at large. Honourable MEC, the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, speaking on behalf of 2.1 million members, the landless, jobless and dispossessed masses of Gauteng, hereby formally questions the Gauteng Provincial Treasury condonation framework for irregular expenditure. The Provincial Treasury is 13.2 billion on condonation, including 4.2 billion for bus subsidies and 2.7 billion in referred back security contracts, late payment interest of 105 million caused by deliberate sabotage of SMMEs is not oversight. Condonation can potentially be legalized theft. The MKP will appreciate the MEC's response to the following questions. Can the Provincial Treasury provide clarity on the rationale behind the recurring condonations of irregular expenditure? What is the criteria applied by Provincial Treasury when considering condonation? What measures are being implemented to ensure that condonation does not become substitute for consequence management and accountability? And lastly, how does Provincial Treasury monitor whether departments are strengthening their internal controls after condonations have been granted? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, and thanks, Honourable Member. The answer to the first question is that the rationale behind the recurring condonations of irregular expenditure is to assist institutions to identify weaknesses in control and implement corrective measures to prevent future recurrences. It should be noted that the irregular expenditure treatment forces institutions to conduct determination tests and investigations. This will then assist institutions to identify gaps and root causes and develop action plans to implement corrective measures and prevent recurrence on non-compliances. This can improve compliance and contribute to efficiency in procurement. Answer to question 2, the criteria applied by Provincial Treasury when considering condonation emanates from the provisions of paragraph 5.6 of the National Treasury Instruction number 4 of 2022/2023, PFMA compliance and reporting framework, which mandates the Gauteng Provincial Treasury to consider the following information when condoning irregular expenditure: requests received from the institutions, confirmation that a determination test was conducted, findings and recommendations of the loss control function or another relevant function that conducted the determination test, confirm that the matter is free of fraudulent, corruption, or other criminal conducts. If the matter has fraudulent, corrupt, or other criminal conduct, confirmation of a case number showing that a case was opened with the South African Police Services, confirmation that no loss was incurred and that value for money was achieved, confirmation that disciplinary action was taken or in the process of being taken against the responsible official or officials, and confirmation of remedial actions taken or being taken by the accounting officer or accounting authority to prevent the recurrence of irregular expenditure in similar circumstances. Answer to question 3, measures implemented to ensure that condonation does not become substitute for consequence management and accountability are informed by the National Treasury Instruction number 4 of 2022, 2023 PFMA Compliance and Reporting Framework, paragraph 5.6, mentioned above, wherein accounting officers or authorities are delegated to take disciplinary action against the responsible official or officials implicated in the irregular expenditure prior to the condonation process being submitted for consideration. Answer to question, the next question, it's that Gauteng Provincial Treasury strengthens their internal controls after condonations have been granted through the following intervention measures. Gauteng Provincial Treasury annually conducts an assessment of the departmental SCM policies to identify gaps and provide feedback through the assessment report to ensure that the SCM policies are amended in line with National Treasury and Gauteng Provincial Treasury SCM reforms, capacitate institutions through training on procurement processes and contract management to improve compliance with SCM prescripts, monitor compliance with prescripts and develop action plans for implementation and communicate feedback through quarterly SCM compliance reports, develop checklists to address targeted areas contributing to irregular expenditure, conduct regular refresher training on the irregular expenditure condonation process. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Honorable Member, if you have a supplementary question or a short remark.
Thank you, Speaker. I have a short remark to the MEC. And MEC, I think we can both agree that most of the time condonation is as a result of poor planning and non-compliance, which could have been avoided. And it is used by departments to clean their audits. I think we need to adopt a culture of enforcing accountability and transparency in order to maintain integrity of the provincial financial governance. Thank you.
Honorable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay, thank you very much. Honorable MEC, if you want to respond.
No, the comment is noted, and we are committed to clean governance, transparent governance. That's why one of the announcements we've made, despite the efforts that we've put of putting an open tender system, the only government in the continent that has got an open tender system, we have additionally said we will digitize our procurement processes, and we've even said that we are piloting that project, which is starting, you have started with the drunkenness now. So we are committed to that process. Don't drink and smoke dacha.
Okay. Okay, honorable members, I just want to make sure that all of us are on the same page. You will recall that the acting premier had tabled his apology was noted. So we are going to go back to the speaking list as you have it before you. So I'm going to ask the secretary to read the first order. Just hold on. And then immediately after that, we'll go to question number 10, and we'll go to all the questions up to the time allocated as per the standing rules. Secretary, now you can read the first order.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Petition Standing Committee Second Quarterly Performance Report for the 2025-2026 financial year. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Gentile.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, the honourable members in the House and the residents of Gauteng, Khotso. Today I present the second quarterly performance report of the Petition Standing Committee activities of the 2025-2026 financial year of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. This report covers the period from the 1st of July to the 30th September 2025. It further provides an overview of all activities undertaken by the committee during the reviewed quarter. This aimed at addressing concerns raised by the petitioners and fulfilling its mandate effectively. Madam Speaker, in the interest of time, I request that parts of the report that I don't read are considered as read. In the second quarter, the committee considered 37 petitions. After thorough discussion and review of supporting documents, 16 petitions were rejected and 21 were approved as petitions and were forwarded to relevant authorities for investigation and reporting. The 21 approved petitions were added to the list of the ongoing petitions that are still awaiting progress reports, and as a result, a total number of ongoing petitions pending responses from authorities now stands at 367. The report further assesses the responsiveness, efficiency, and effectiveness at which the petitions directed to relevant authorities were managed during this reporting period. It further examines the extent to which the department and municipalities adhered to prescribed timeframes and procedural requirements when responding to petitions, the quality and adequacy of the responses in addressing the concerns raised by our citizens. Moreover, the report outlines the challenges the committee has encountered regarding the responsiveness of authorities, including insufficient feedback, incomplete progress reports, and in some instances, a lack of accountability in addressing outstanding petitions. Madam Speaker, on closed petitions, during the quarter under review, the committee closed a total of 56 petitions, making a significant achievement in its ongoing efforts to ensure that public grievances are addressed effectively and timelessly. A notable portion of these petitions originated from the previous administrations, which underscores the committee's strong commitment to continuity, accountability, and the resolution of the long-standing matters that affect our citizens. This accomplishment highlights the committee's commitment to improving efficiency and streamlining procedures. Through proactive oversight and feedback to petitioners, the committee has reduced the backlog of petitions while strengthening public trust in petitions process as a vital tool for accountability and responsive governance. Furthermore, this progress sets a positive precedent for maintaining consistent service delivery and fostering engagement with communities across the province. On inadmissible petitions, these are petitions that are considered by the committee in accordance to Section 4, Subsection 4 of the Gauteng Petitions Act, and these are petitions that do not meet the prescribed criteria as deemed by the Act. And during that reporting period, 16 submissions were rejected because they were found to be inadmissible. And the reasons for rejection include matters falling outside the committee's mandate, non-compliance with the provisions of the Act, and some of the submissions of these petitions have insufficient or incomplete information. On committee activities, the committee activities are aligned to its approved annual performance plan, and the activities for the quarter included the following: the committee meetings. And during the quarter under review, the committee held 4 meetings. And on stakeholder management, the committee conducted workshops during this period. And I want to quickly move to oversight, or rather the petitions that were adopted, that are 21, and we are indicating in a table there that which departments have they then gone to. but also on evaluating of the responsiveness of departments. We are concerned as a committee and want to continue to express our dissatisfaction on non-compliance of several departments in populating petitions management system. Currently, only the Department of Transport, Health and COGTA have largely adhered to the requirements. We want to move to conclusion, Chair, but maybe before conclusion, this non-compliance is a transgression to the Petitions Act, and to remedy this under-reporting, the committee has requested 2 meetings with the Leader of Government Business, and the committee's requests have not been fulfilled to date. The committee emphasizes the importance of proper handling of petitions by all departments, and given the continued lack of engagement, the committee is compelled to escalate the matter to the Premier in accordance to Section 7, subsection H1 of the Gauteng Petitions Act. On conclusion, Madam Speaker, the committee remains committed to embedding fairness and inclusivity on all its activities to ensure that the petitions process is accessible to the broad-based possibility of citizens. And on acknowledgement, we want to acknowledge all committee members and committee support staff on adoption in accordance to Rules 161 of Petitions. Standing committee hereby presents the report for the House consideration and adoption. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honourable Gentile. Is there a seconder?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I rise to second.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. I now put a question. All those in favour say yes. Okay. Those that are not in favour say no. The report is duly adopted. Honourable members, we now go to questions to members of the Executive Council for oral reply in terms of Rule 134. Honourable Klaber to MEC Environment.
Thank you, Speaker. The question to MEC for Environment. The House of Natural Butters has been given a fine of 500,000 after their peanut butter products were found to contain elevated levels of aflatoxin. Given the significant health risk associated with aflatoxins contamination in food products, particularly peanut butter, which is widely consumed by children in low-income communities, exposure to lower levels of aflatoxin can, over a long period, have varied effects, with liver cancer being the most prominent possible outcome. Other effects include suppression of the immune system and growth of stunting in children. Aflatoxin can also cross the placental barrier, where the fetus is affected, and then exposure affects poisoning. Based on the sampling plan for the analysis of total aflatoxin in peanuts intended for further processing to be used for enforcement and control in terms of government regulations in line with Codex Stand 209 of 1999 as revised in 2000. The MKP party will appreciate if the MEC can answer the following questions. What was the exact amount of aflatoxin contamination found in peanut butter products by the House of Natural Butters to warrant them recalling? Is there any routine inspection or lab test conducted to ensure compliance with national safety standards for aflatoxin contamination? What public awareness or consumer education initiatives are in place to inform the public about the risk of aflatoxin contamination or safe consumption practices? And lastly, what are the statistics of people that have been diagnosed with having fallen ill or died because of aflatoxin poisoning in Gauteng? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Honourable MEC.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you, Member Klaber, for the question. The matter you've raised is very important. However, unfortunately, the food safety regulations and human health impacts falls outside of my portfolio as the member of the Executive Council responsible for environment. The appropriate authority to respond to the matters concerning aflatoxin contamination, food recalls and public health is the National Department of Health and the Gauteng Department of Health. The regulation of foodstuffs, contaminants, and the subsequent health implications for the public is governed by the national legislation such as the Foodstuffs, Cosmetics and Disinfectants Act No. 54 of 1972, which is administered by the Department of Health at both national and provincial levels. The Gauteng Department of Health's environmental health practitioners are responsible for ensuring food safety standards are met, conducting inspections and managing public health crises related to foodborne illnesses, including communicating with the public and tracking public health statistics. Therefore, the recommendation, Member Xaba, is that the questions should be formally redirected to the Office of the MEC for Gauteng Department of Health for an accurate and reliable response. Regarding the subsequent questions, my response would be please refer to question 1 because this question falls outside of our mandate. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable MEC. Honourable Xaba? Okay. Honourable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay. Honourable Meso, your question to MEC for Agriculture and Rural Development.
Thank you, Speaker. Greetings to the community of Gauteng. My question to the MEC of Agriculture reads as follows. On the 10th of June 2025, the Environmental Health Journal published the Ramazini 2025 study, which provides the new evidence of the long-term carcinogenic effect of glyphosate and GBH in GM crops, even at regulatory safe doses. Key findings include dose-related increase in tumor incidence, particularly at the lowest safe dose of 0.5 milligram, with the effect observed across the sexes and in both glyphosate and GBH treatment. The study highlights the potential role of formulation additives in increasing health risk. Notable health impact include 1. Mammary gland tumor, 2. Leukemia, 3. Renal kidney tumor, 4. Tumor in the liver and other organs, e.g. skin and prostate. Increased overall mortality. Therefore, I want to ask the MEC the following questions. Is GDAD aware of the findings of the Ramazani 2025 study regarding the carcinogenic risk of glyphosate and GBH in GM crops? The second question will be, will GDAD escalate the findings on Ramazani 2025 study to the ACGM and ERC for a comprehensive review of existing risk assessment for glyphosate use in Gauteng? Number 3, what are the specific interventions will GDAD implement to safeguard the health and well-being of Gauteng residents from potential adverse effects of GM crops, particularly in light of the Ramazani study 2025 findings? I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Meso. Honourable MEC.
Thank you for the question, Honourable Meso. The Gauteng Department of Agriculture and Rural Development is indeed aware of the findings of the Ramazini Institute's 2025 study concerning the potential carcinogenic risks associated with glyphosate and glyphosate-based herbicides in genetically modified crops. However, it's important to note that the evaluation, classification, and regulation of such substances, including the authorization and risk assessment of GMOs and related agricultural chemicals, fall under the exclusive mandate of the National Department of Agriculture in terms of the Genetically Modified Organisms Act 1997, Act number 15 of 97, and its Amendment Act of 2006. Accordingly, while we acknowledge the study and its implications, any formal evaluation or regulatory response must be initiated and led by the National Department of Agriculture and the relevant national advisory and regulatory structures established under the Act. With regards to the second question, Honourable Miso, unfortunately, GDAT cannot directly escalate the findings of the Ramazini 2025 study, as the regulation and authorization of genetically modified organisms are governed by the national legislation, namely the Genetically Modified Organisms Act 1997, Act number 15 of 1997, and the Genetically Modified Organisms Act 2006. These acts establish a national regulatory framework administered by the National Department of Agriculture. And in terms of this framework, all regulatory powers and decision-making functions are vested in national structures established by the Act. The Registrar is the national authority responsible for administering the Act, and the Registrar receives and evaluates applications, issues or withdraws permits, maintains the National Registrar of Authorized Facilities, and coordinates inspections and compliance activities. The Advisory Committee is a body of scientific experts appointed by the Minister of Agriculture. It conducts biosafety, environmental and socio-economic risk assessments for all applications and makes evidence-based recommendations to the Executive Council. The Executive Council serves as the national decision-making body comprising representatives from the relevant departments such as agriculture, health, environment and trade and industry. It considers the Advisory Committee's findings and determines whether any GMO-related activity may proceed, under what conditions and with what risk management measures. The national guidelines for GMO activities reinforce that all aspects of the application process, the risk evaluation, authorization and compliance monitoring are managed at a national level to ensure consistency with international biosafety standards and South Africa's commitments under the Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety. Accordingly, the Gauteng Department of Agriculture and Rural Development does not have the legislative authority to regulate, issue or revoke GMO permits, nor to make independent determinations on GMO-related activities within the province. The enabling legislation is silent on any formal provincial role, and as such, the department may only provide support or coordination at the request or under the direction of the national authorities empowered by the Act. Despite this fact, however, Honourable Miso, the provincial department remains committed to cooperative governance and stands ready to support the National Department of Agriculture where coordination, compliance, facilitation or stakeholder engagement may be required. With regards to question 3, this is not applicable and refer to the previous response. GDAT has no authority over the registration of crops. I thank you, Honourable Miso. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable MEC. Honourable Miso, a supplementary question or short remark if you have.
Thank you, Speaker. I have a short remarks to the MEC. MEC, oversight is not about waiting for national direction. It is about provincial leadership. The Ramazini 2025 study gives us an opportunity to re-evaluate what we call safe. We therefore urge the department to immediately review glyphosate-related permits, make inspection reports public, and initiate a risk-based health monitoring framework for communities near trial sites. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Miso. Honourable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay, MEC, do you want to respond?
I note the recommendations, Honourable Miso, and we will certainly look into that. Oversight indeed is a big part of our responsibility, and where such matters can be escalated to the appropriate forums, such as the national government forums, national department forums rather, that I've mentioned, we certainly would be inclined to do so. So I thank you for the recommendations, and we will implement accordingly.
Thank you very much, Honourable. Thank you very much, Honourable MEC. Honourable Nyati to MEC Cocter.
Greetings, Speaker. Greetings, honorable members. As of late 2024 and early 2025, 3 of the most poorly performing municipalities in Gauteng, based on financial distress and poor audit outcomes, was Mfuleni Local Municipality, Merafong City Local Municipality, and the City of Tshwane Metropolitan Municipality. Mfuleni has been under repeated intervention from the Gauteng provincial government. The ongoing financial crisis has resulted in several service delivery failures, such as intermittent water and electricity suppliers, poor road maintenance, and inadequate waste collection. Merafong City has struggled with consecutive qualified and adverse opinion, meaning its financial statements have been misrepresented or misstated. The Auditor General previously flagged Tshwane as the worst performing metro in Gauteng with 2.7 billion in irregular expenditure reported. The metro has also faced legal action from Eskom over non-payment with threatened power cuts. We are aware of the intervention and turnaround strategies that have been implemented to turn the fortunes of these municipalities. We would like the MEC to answer the following questions. What is the status of these municipalities after your intervention? What have you done so far to recover funds that were lost through unauthorized expenditure? How many municipal officials have been arrested or convicted for misconduct from these above-mentioned municipalities? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Nyati. Honorable MEC.
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker and the Deputy Speaker and all the honorable MECs and all honorable members in the House. Let me acknowledge the question and reply as follows. With respect to the first question, I must say, honorable member, that we have developed a table that provides detailed information on each one of the municipalities and what is the status of each, and that will provide you, but to save time, we have assessed some of the indicators like serious financial issues continue to persist, whilst of course there are notable improvements in some of the municipalities. For example, we note some of the issues relating to unfunded budgets and of course overdue balances of debtors and creditors, including those owed to Rent, Water and Eskom. We also note the unauthorized, irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure figures that have increased. And of course, each of these 3 municipalities you have mentioned have their share of the blame, and the figures are attached in the questions. We have also noted that the 3 municipalities also reported increased unauthorized, irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure between 2023 and 2024 and 2024 and 2025 financial year. We also have noted the challenges in the city of Tshwane, but we hope the honorable member is aware of the improvements that have been made. Like Tshwane has adopted a fully funded budget, and they are also doing great work to improve on their audit outcomes. Merafong City improved in 2023-2024, moving from a disclaimer in 2022-2023 to a qualified audit opinion. And that means they've addressed some of the material limitations with better record keeping and filling of vacancies in the final year. Mfuleni has remained qualified, and of course, there are interventions that we are putting in the municipality. I'm very much pleased to say to you, very soon there will be an announcement on the special purpose vehicle which is going to help stabilize the municipality. Now, with respect to your your second question about what have we done to recover the funds, the reply is that the MEC of COGTA, in terms of the law, does not have the mandate to recover funds lost through unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure. The decisions and processes to recover funds lie with municipal council once investigations have been completed. To this extent, I'll refer you to the Municipal Finance Management Act, Section 32, which clearly stipulates the responsibilities of municipalities on this. The last part of your question about officials that have been arrested and convicted for misconduct from these municipalities, the number is none of them. In other words, it's zero. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MEC. Honorable Nyati, a supplementary question or short remark?
Thank you, MEC.
Okay. Honorable members are now open in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, to additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay, in the absence of any, we now move to Honorable Dilebo, to Honorable MEC COGTA.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Greetings to honorable members and the people of Gauteng. The Amandebele Nzunza Sokhulumi traditional community, under the leadership of King Nzunza Sokhulumi, is facing a systematic crisis that undermines their constitutional rights, cultural integrity, and social-economic development. The crisis is characterized by issues such as the transfer of development of key properties at Rooiport, Vlakfontein, and Valplas remain stalled under deeply concerning circumstances. This is despite the land being officially gazetted with the title deeds. The Royal Family and Traditional Council are forced to operate in a state of crisis, which is dilapidated royal residence and a tribal office that was destroyed during community protests and never rebuilt. This systematic neglect extends to the wider community of Ward 105. For over a decade, since 2013, the residents of Ward 105 have endured a critical failure in the provision of water and sanitation services, compounding these operational challenges in an unjustified budget cut of over 300,000 that has been imposed on the council. Questions to the MEC. Number one, what are the specific legal, administrative, or budgetary impediments that have caused a significant delay in the transfer and development of these properties, namely Rooiport, Vlakfontein, and Vlakplaas? Second question, why have the repeated formal requests from the Traditional Council for shelter, renovation, and ablution facilities not been actioned? Third question, what immediate emergency interventions will your office implement within the next 30 days to guarantee consistent access to clean water and functional sanitation for every household in Ward 105? Fourth question and last one, what was the official programmatic justification for the reduction of Amandebele and Nzunza Sokhulumi Traditional Council budget by over 300,000? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dilebo. Honorable MEC.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me acknowledge the question and reply as follows, that just as a preliminary point, we continue to work with the Amandebele Nzunza Sokhulumi traditional community leadership. And I must say that we have also visited the area together with the city of Tshwane, and both the province and the city of Tshwane are committed to supporting the leadership of Amandebele Nzunza Sokhulumi traditional community. So there is no doubt about our commitment to that. Now, the area of the jurisdiction of the senior traditional leadership in Nkosi MP Mahlangu is a portion of Rooipoort 440 JR as published in Government Notice GN number 18 of 30/09/1988. Now, the portions of this land have been vested in or administered by Department of Agriculture, Land and Rural Development. And as you know, this farm has been subject to multiple land claims under the restitution of land rights. And to this extent, we continue to work with the department to see how we can assist the traditional house. As for Vlakfontein, 453, JR Portion 30 and 31 is, of course, titled to the National Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development, and the Department of Infrastructure Development, respectively. And of course, we are working with the national government as well, and of course, DID, to make sure that we look into this matter and to support the community. The other issue is that the Val Plus, according to our records, and of course, subject to further verification, this land parcel is not located within the area of jurisdiction of the senior traditional leader. However, we can further, upon provision of evidence, look at this matter, but as it stands, according to our records, this part does have a challenge. With respect to number 2, I must say that yes, we continue to provide tools of trade for our traditional leadership, and we continue to provide various forms of support to them. And I must say that the visits that we have made, we have confirmed that working with them, we will provide them with the necessary tools of trade for them to be able to do their work, and that process is ongoing. Now, the third question, I think what is important here is to know that the city is currently providing Sokhulumi with water through 5 mobile water tankers and a borehole. The city is on continuous basis grading the access road to Sokhulumi. Further grading of the roads will commence on 23rd October 2025, specifically to Sokhulumi new stands. Number 4, the replies that at the start of the financial year, departments were advised, and of course this is in the light of cost containments and financial constraints affecting the province, but also all provinces in the country and national departments. So we had to adjust our budgets. So it's not only in this case, but it's a national issue. And as a result of that, on the 15th of April 2025, a meeting was held with the senior traditional leadership, not only Amandebele Nzunza Sokhulumi, but also those of Amandebele Balibelo. So all those have been briefed about the financial difficulties that we experience. And to that extent, we have indicated the limitations of the grant to the two houses, and of course, the need to make sure that all of us work in accordance with the announced cost containment and the fiscal challenges that we have. So to this extent, the two houses have been engaged, and there have been proper explanation given to them. And as I said, we'll continue to provide support. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Honorable Dilibo, a supplementary question or short remark?
Thank you, MEC, for your response. Can we also request that you share the responses with us? Thank you.
Honorable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I now open for supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. The mic is on. Honorable Masilela. Oh, ready for the next question. Okay. Okay, Honorable Masilela. your
Speaker
question
Nkhanisilo.
to MEC Infrastructure.
Speaker,
Thank you, Speaker.
Just hold on.
Okay.
Honorable Ms.
I wanted to make a follow-up.
Oh, sorry. Pardon? Okay, proceed.
Speaker, I want to say to the MEC of Cocta, we have been witnessing and listening to their commitment that they are seconding to the people of Sokhulumi. The issues and the challenges that are facing Sokhulumi, they are not yesterday issues. They started as Mitsweding was incorporated to Tshwane. We are still experiencing the issues of water that are dirty. So it's not a fair answer from the Cocta Minister, MEC, to say they've listened and they will implement, or they are going to have a meeting with the other department to look into the issue of Sokhulumi. People of Sokhulumi, they are treated as minor. People of Ward 105, entirely Mitsweding, they are treated as a stepdaughter of city of Tshwane. We call upon the commitment of the MEC to be implemented. We can't take it further to say we are listening and we'll make follow-up on those issues. Matters of water in Ward 105 are a serious issue. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Miso. Honorable MEC, it was a remark to be noted.
Yeah, no, as I already said, that we remain committed to supporting the House of Traditional Leadership, working with the City of Tshwane, and we have also provided some evidence about support that's been given. However, I don't think it's necessary to argue, go back and forth. We just need to do work to support the House of Traditional Leadership.
Thank you very much, MEC. Honorable Masilela, thank you for indulgence. You may proceed.
You're welcome, Speaker. Thank you. A department committed to cleaning its house and getting its affairs in order must heed calls of the opposition. When we raise dissatisfaction with the performance of DID, we do not do so out of populism, MEC, but rather out of genuine concern, out of the impacts delayed project have our communities and our provincial fiscals in reflecting on the 2024 and 2025 annual report of DID. It comes once again as a concern that we are stuck where we were last year. If the House allowed us, we will produce videos of evidence of sittings from last year of raising the same issues around this department's failure to complete schooling project in particular. Tubelihle, Simunye, Nesfield, the Honorable MEC can agree that this has since become a chorus from us. For the sake of the people of Gauteng, we sincerely hope that this is the last time we stand before the House over the plight of these schools. As we have previously alluded to, a functional DID as a win for all of us, even members of the opposition, who stands as the voice to those let down by the government. We sincerely hope that the DID's A team is truly hard at work in rectifying this. In the meantime, can the MEC answer the following questions regarding Tubelihle? What was the project completed by the set date of 30th October? If not, what is the current status? Please provide comprehensive update. In terms of Nesfield, the annual report stated that the lease for mobile classroom was extended by 9 months. In the 2024-2025 financial year, what is the current status of these classrooms, MEC? What progress has been made on the permanent school construction? And in response with INF 006 question 5, the department provided Annexure B list of STARS projects currently underway. From this list, how many schools refurbished and new construction will be ready for the start of the new school year? I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Masilela. Honorable MEC.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Let's welcome the question from Honorable Masilela of the EFF. And welcome the statement that indeed when they do this, they do so not out of populism. So I want to welcome that point. I'll, however, just complete it by appealing that when we do so, we should keep to this point that it is not out of populism, because sometimes there could be populist sentiments not intending to be populist. So let me pass that. Now, with regard to the very first one, let me mention that the overall percentage progress is 76%, and we have received a request of extension by the contractor, and of course the completion date is being revised to February 2026. Now, I just want to say that in line with what we reported in the Portfolio Committee, we are amending our legal instruments to make sure that we can enforce completion dates. And we have also reported in the Portfolio Committee about measures we are taking to terminate and blacklist poor performing contractors, and I'll not repeat that here. Now, with respect to Nansfield, the contract for the leasing of mobile classrooms is still in force until 30th November 2025. Now, with respect to number 3, the overall percentage of the school is about 82%, and the average percentage progress on each block is above 80%, except for block EF, which is laboratories, which is at 64%. Now, with respect to number 4, our reply is that the department is targeting to complete about 5 schools and 3 refurbishment projects at the end of the financial year 2025-2026, with an aim to complete all classrooms and in preparation for the new school year. The new school year projects are the Simpato, Nansfield, Dr. W.K. du Plessis, Rasteval, and of course Simunye, and the refurbishments are those of Pororong, and then Lair School, Parksech, and then Tubelite Intermediate School. So I'd like to assure you, Honourable Member, that we also share the same concern, and we are hard at work to make sure that indeed we can complete and deliver these projects and build a sustainable pipeline of projects so that the department does not find itself in this stage again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable MEC. Honourable Masilela, a supplementary question or short remark?
Thank you, Speaker. I'm just confused by the plotting of this, the whip of the ANC, because we are speaking about the plight of young learners who are suffering due to incomplete infrastructures when it comes to schools. But we take note and we appreciate the MEC that he has put action into it, even when it comes to our committee has reported that. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay. Honourable members, we now move to Honourable Masoleng to MEC Roads and Transport. Now, we have an apology from her. I don't know if she's made. Oh, okay. No. Proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. I hope I will get an answer, Speaker. In previous questions presented to the Department of Roads and Transport, the economic freedom fighters...
Sorry, who's that? Hi, hello, Letter, how are you? Good, okay, so I've clarified...
Honourable Fuchs, what is happening? What's that? Hold on, your time is paused. Honourable Fuchs, please mute your mic.
Out of order. Can I speak now?
Yeah, please do.
Thank you. In previous questions presented to the Department of Roads and Transport, the economic freedom fighters have sought to get clarity on the status of the so-called 40 West roads that were highlighted by the Premier in his State of the Nation address. In spite of these, there has There has been no adequate response from the department. Accordingly, may the MEC kindly answer the following questions. Number one, what are the individual names of these roads and their locations? Number two, how many of these roads have been fixed to date? Number three, how much was spent in the repairing of these roads to date? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member, Honorable MEC.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I just want to say to the Honourable Member that yes, you have said you hope today you'll get the answers. I'd like to assure you the answers are here and we'll give them to you confirmed. So let me place it on record that the answers are here. And with respect to the way the answers have been compiled, Madam Speaker, is they've created a table which indicate in total about 40 roads that have been fixed. The names of all these roads are here. For example, Wiketlong, in Wiketlong there's the Otterdal Road, in Three Rivers, Asekai, Three Rivers again, Golf, Three Rivers, Mariko, etc. I can read them out, they're here. So I just wanted to demonstrate that. And then, of course, with regard to the final project costs, the amounts are also stated here. And the total final project cost of all these roads is 280 million each year. And there's a breakdown for each one of them, 40. And then, of course, on all the 40, there is also an indication of how much has been paid to date. And it's 278 million. And the breakdown is here. So I think for purposes of time, I can hand over the question to the member, but all the answers are here, and we hope this matter is finally laid to rest, in that it is being adequately answered. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Honorable Masole?
Can I have the paper so that we can do our oversight accordingly? Thank you very much.
Okay, honorable members are now open for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7. Okay. Honorable Makwala to MEC Kokta, your questions, please.
For Honorable Makwala, on the 7th of October, the Economic Freedom Fighters conducted an oversight at the site where the Mirafon Solar Farm was supposed to be. Surprisingly, this flagship program, which was part of the promises made by the Premier in the inaugural SOPA of 2023, seems to exist only on paper. This is most concerning as it raises questions around the Gauteng Energy response plan, which seems to have been abandoned. To ascertain whether the program indeed exists, can the MEC answer the following questions? Number one, as of today, what is the current status of the program in terms of its stage and progress? Number two, has any construction taken place? Number three, what is the exact location of the solar farm? And number four, what are the timelines for operationalizing the solar farm? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Masoleng. Honorable MEC.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Let me greet the House. Just to confirm that this project is not a rumor. This project exists. And as of today, we are pleased to indicate that the sites, which in total is about 1,500 hectares, have been allocated to 3 independent power bidders. The contracts are comprised of an option period agreement, a 2-year period wherein the IPP seek permitting authorizations from different departments and SOEs, and of course the IPPs also use this period to source funding and offtake agreements. The second agreement is the lease agreement, which is triggered at the end of the option period and the IPPs will take to site to begin construction once all arrangements have been finalized. So to make it simple, honorable members, the bidders that have been allocated are currently dealing with compliance issues, but most importantly, what is called getting the off-take agreements. The off-take agreements are critical for the profit.
Just hold on. Honorable members who are online, can you please mute your mics? Please mute your mics, honorable members. Yeah. Okay. MEC, thank you for your indulgence. You may proceed. MEC? MEC?
To clarify that the construction has not yet started, because if they have not yet secured off-take agreements and they are still working on them, it will not be profitable for them to start with the program. So they are still concluding those aspects. So to that extent, once they are done, they will be on site. So that answers number 2. That the project is anticipated, of course, in the year 2 of the option period, and that's once they've concluded all the compliance, including the off-take agreements negotiations. With respect to the location, we have attached the geolocations of the project where exactly these are allocated for all the people that have been assigned, and we are pleased to hand over the reply to the honourable member. So there's no construction on site as yet. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable MEC. Honourable Masoleng, on behalf of Honourable Makwala.
Thank you very much. I don't think MEC has answered my question, because the question is asking about the timelines. He's not giving us the timelines. He's telling us about the off-take agreements. How long will it take for them to finalize those off-take agreements? Because we need to know when this project is going to start. Thank you.
Honourable MEC. Oh, just hold on. Honourable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay, Honourable MEC. Response?
Let me explain that off-take agreement speaks to the return on investment. And I can imagine us trying to speculate on when will they conclude with the buyers of their product. We will be misleading the House. We shouldn't do that. We will await them to conclude those discussions, and they'll notify us and we'll report to the House. At this time, it will be pure speculation because we are not involved in those negotiations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Honourable MEC. Honourable Sematla to MEC Social Development.
Thank you very much, Speaker. The first quarter report for financial year 2025-2026 reflects that the departments failed to reach its target on number of children provided with pro-basket intervention and number of dignitary PEG distributed. The reason given was due to delayed process in SCM. Can the MEC answer the following questions? 1, has the department finalized appointment letters for both the programs indicated above? How many children have been provided with pro-basket to date? How many dignitaries has the department distributed? Can the department provide more information regarding the food parcels distribution centers across the province, including their addresses? Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, and truly appreciate the question. In responding to question number 1, on if the department has finalized the appointment letters, yes, indeed, they have, and most of them have received the appointment letters and they've started delivering the dignity packs, school uniform, and food for the children. In responding to question number 2, how many children have been provided with the pro-basket till to date? A total of 181,913 children have so far been provided with that basket of services. And in responding to question number 3, how many number of dignity packs the department, I think it's meant dignity packs, not dignitaries. Dignitaries are what are important. Yes, I'm a VIP. The department so far has distributed 169,233 dignity packs in the 2025-26 financial year. And in responding to question number 4, if the department can provide the distribution center, so far we've got 2 distribution centers of food parcels. That one is in Boysens, that caters for Johannesburg, West Rand, and Sidibeng, and Ekurhuleni now included. And the second one is in Tshwane. It is situated at Max Street in Watlu. That will be the end of the responses, Honourable Speaker.
Thank you very much, MEC. Honourable Smatla, a supplementary question or short remark? Nice. Okay, thank you. Honourable members, I now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7. Okay, Honourable Smatla, again to MEC Social Development.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Unifem Cooperative have raised concerns that they received their purchase orders too late. The department has previously been urged to reconsider the dates in favor of an earlier time frame to allow cooperative sufficient time to produce school uniforms. This would allow cooperatives to deliver school uniforms at the beginning of the school year. Regarding the issuing of purchase orders, can the MEC answer the following questions? 1, has the department issued purchase orders for 2026? How many will the department ensure that? How will the department ensure that cooperatives have adequate time to deliver uniforms before the start of the school year? What support will the department provide to cooperatives that have indicated a need for prior financial assistance before receiving payment for orders? And what's the total number of uniforms the department planned to deliver in the beginning of 2026 school year? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member. Honourable MEC.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, and to the Honourable Member in responding to question number 1. If the department has already issued purchase orders, yes, indeed, between the month of July and August, we already issued purchase orders, and we committed those cooperatives that they must deliver the uniform between October and November, which some have already started delivering that uniform. In responding to question number 2, if they will have enough adequate time to deliver before the start of the school year, like I indicated, Honourable Speaker, that all those that will have been awarded their letters between July and August, they've already started delivering the uniform. The uniform is ready, some has already been sent to schools, but we are cautioning schools which they must guard carefully, because over December period there are usually some break-ins in some schools. So olahlekele uniform ngaleso sikhathi uzobona uphuma njani ngaleso sikhathi should fanele bayikhiyele. In responding to question number 3, what support will the department provide to cooperatives that indicated a need for financial assistance? Unfortunately, once we are issued with the PO, uzozibona uphuma njani okusalayo thina sifuna uniform yethu. In responding to question number 4, what is the total number of uniforms the department plans to deliver? The department has a target of 129,400 school uniform packs to be delivered by the 4th quarter, which, like I indicated, they've already started delivering. If I have to give a breakdown, Honourable Speaker, the Eastern Corridor, there are 209 schools. 25,000 of that school uniform has already been delivered. In Southern Corridor, which is your Sidibeng, there are 156 schools. Also 25,000 of that uniform has already been procured. The Western Corridor, they've got 144 schools. North, they've got 200 schools. Central, 150 schools. A total of 859 schools will be getting their school uniforms right in time before the schools open next year. Siyabonga kakhulu, Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable MEC. Honorable Samatla.
Thank you, Speaker.
Okay, honorable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I'll now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Okay, Honorable Ntlakaza Manamela to MEC Infrastructure.
I beg your pardon. Regarding the timeframes for processing town planning and building regulations applications, can the MEC give responses on the following? 1, what is the current backlog experienced by the department in meeting its annual target of processing town planning related applications as it pertains to infrastructure portfolio projects? 2, how is the spread of this backlog, especially on the 3 metros of Tshwane, Joburg, and Ekurhuleni, and its impact towards the infrastructure development in the province? And 3, what is the positive impact of Spluma Act of 2013 on infrastructure development, particularly in redressing spatial inequality? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable MEC.
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Let me welcome the question from the Madam Deputy Speaker and state the following, that the current backlog that we are experiencing in the department with respect to town planning and municipal approval by our municipalities affecting infrastructure projects is quite extensive and serious. And to this extent, we have commissioned a full research to understand the root causes of these backlogs, and we do have a report that has been compiled and is completed that goes into detail on this matter. Secondly, is that we have held an IGR workshop where we also look at the root causes of this, and we do have a report coming from the IGR workshop that was convened by all our municipalities. But the challenge here is lack of coordination, cooperation, and fragmentation with our municipalities, lack of technological support to look at track and tracing those decisions, oversight, consequence management by municipalities where time frames and lead times are not adhered to. So there are issues of poor performance by our professional engineering firms, which are the ones that in many instances are helping us with this type of approval. So these are some of the immense and complex challenges that we face, and that's why we had to commission a report, a study, and that's why we had to have an IGR workshop to deal with these matters, because they are quite serious. We have got about 54 projects that are in design, development, and planning that are part of the backlogs currently being addressed. And the second question is about the spread of the backlog across the 3 metros. In the city of Johannesburg, we have got about 24 outstanding decisions that we need. In the city of Ekurhuleni, it's about 12. And in the city of Tshwane, it's about 12, my apologies. And in the city of Ekurhuleni, it's about 20. So that gives you a total breakdown of the challenges, the backlogs, and they are spread across the municipalities. We have got the remaining 6 that is in Mfuleni local municipality. Of course, the question was about the metros, but just to give a full account of where we are. Now, this obviously impacts our town planning and building plan application processes. And of course, as I said, it does have a severe impact. And of course, the delayed approvals will also affect construction and also submission of designs to the municipalities. Now, on the impact of Spluma, the implementation of Spluma legislation has led to a notable increase in the approval of development projects with spatially transformative objectives. And under Spluma's regulatory framework, municipal officials are empowered to authorize developments that deliver socio-economic benefits and actively address spatial inequality, even in cases where such projects diverge from existing municipal spatial development frameworks. Over time, the cumulative spatial impact of SPLUMA-driven approvals will become increasingly visible across the urban landscape, offering measurable evidence of progress. Apologies in addressing the historical spatial disparities. Otherwise, honourable members, we are working with our municipalities. We are also trying to develop technological systems to track and trace the decisions that we need from municipalities to make. This remain ongoing work with our municipalities. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honourable MEC. Honourable Deputy Speaker, a supplementary question or short remark, if you have. Thank you. Honourable members, in terms of Rule 134, subsection 7, I now open up for additional supplementary questions or additional remarks by members who wish to do so. Thank you very much. Honourable Masai, your question to MEC Kokta.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and greetings to the people of Gauteng and members. At the heart of South Africa's democracy is a powerful principle that local government must serve the people with efficiency, transparency, and accountability. Kokta Gauteng participated in the historic local government Indaba, governed by the National Department of Kokta in October 2025. Government leaders, traditional leaders, academia, labor and civil society came together to take stock of the challenges faced by local government and to plot the future of this sphere in our system of governance. Can the MEC for Kokta answer the following questions? What constraints were identified as affecting the effectiveness of local government? And what key strategic solutions that the Indaba identified as essential to ensure that municipalities are efficient and work for their people? And what practical steps did the Indaba take to address the recurrent poor municipal audit outcomes? Thank you.
MEC.
I'll plead for your indulgence not to go through everything, but it's quite eloquent and quite comprehensive. Now, the very first one on the constraints that were identified that impact effectiveness of local government, our reply is that the 2025 local government Indaba identified several constraints affecting effectiveness of local government. Indeed, we agree. One of them being governance and leadership challenges. In that, we note political instability, weak oversight, corruption and maladministration, and of course, political interference. Financial constraints is one of those, and in this we detail a number of issues: weak financial management, unfunded mandates, dependency on grants, debt and cash flow issues. The liquidity challenges of municipalities is quite severe. On service delivery and infrastructure challenges, we mention a lot of them, but most importantly, aging and poorly maintained infrastructure is at the center of the problems that we have. Capacity, human resources, and of course, institutional integrity affects the performance of municipalities. One of the most severe is intergovernmental relations. We still have fragmentation between national, province, and our municipalities. Including SOEs, we are not yet working as one single integrated unitary state in the delivery of services. We are a unitary state, but when it comes to service delivery, in most instances, we still work as if, in silos. It's like we're a federal state. but actually we remain a unit. So that fragmentation between spheres of government impacts local government. And that is why we have introduced the district development model, precisely to deal with this issue. Because no single municipality or sphere of government, ourselves as a province, national government, can deal with the challenges that we have. We need integration, coordination, we need cohesion, we need to work together. So this issue of IGR, it's quite severe. I thought I should pay attention to that because when we work together, we work much more better. And the output and results are much more remarkable. So I just thought, let me make this point. Otherwise, there are others. And I must also indicate that this Indaba talked about the traditional leadership challenges. And of course, there are other issues like climate change, natural disasters. These are also challenges that have been raised and lack of capacity to deal with those. So the next part of your question is really about the solutions. And I must say that one of them, professionalization, to look at skills, particularly critical skills, engineering, and other such related skills in the built environment for infrastructure delivery. So these are some of the issues that have been raised. The issue of regulating coalition governments, let me just mention some of those. As I said, I won't go into detail on all of them, but the issues are here, and I will hand over the reply. And of course, we also looked at digital transformation. We shouldn't work as if we're still in the Stone Age. We need to migrate to digital platforms. Most of the people in Gauteng, most of the people in our province are using digital platforms, smartphones and all that. So we also need municipalities to do that. There is a very interesting discussion that's happening in the province that shouldn't we even reorganize our grants to support municipalities to digitize, to leverage technology, fourth industrial revolution. Where will the money come from if we don't reorganize the grants to support migration to digital platforms? So these are some of the discussions that are taking place. And of course, the third question that you're raising about the poor municipal outcomes. Indeed, in a province, we have recommended that all our municipalities must do mid-year audit. The AG has agreed to do that, so that audit outcomes are not just an activity of once at the end of the financial year. But we believe if municipalities were to accept the practice of auditing twice in one financial year, which the AG has promoted, Mohali City asked the AG midterm to do their asset register. And that finally improved their audit outcomes. It's just one example that we are indicating, particularly in our province, that it could help. But the poor functioning of the municipal, the MPEC committees, consequence management, resolving the fruitless, wasteful, unauthorized, irregular expenditure findings. Those are some of the things that we have actually identified as part of the way forward. And as I said, public participation and of course addressing petitions by communities, that is also another issue. We have got a huge number of petitions that have not been answered to our people. So public participation is very important. We need to restore confidence in petitions, public participation. It will bring peace and stability and improve confidence and trust with the people. So these are some of the many complex issues that we have raised. But as I said, for time, Madam Deputy Speaker, we will hand over the reply. Thank you very much.
Honorable Musai.
Thank you very much, MEC, for that response. I will await the detailed report. It was quite interesting and empowering. MEC, I took the last point on the audit outcomes, and I would really implore on the department to look at the function of the internal audit and the audit committee, the value that they bring, so that then you also look at their monitoring and implementation plan. to avoid the recurrent audit outcomes. Thank you so much.
Can I just also assure the House that, one of the things that we are pleased about is we're noticing a big improvement in the submission of annual financial statements. And we are starting to see a good trend in how our municipalities are treating, particularly work with the AG and audit process. We have set a target that none of our municipalities must go back into disclaimers and none of them must degenerate back into the difficulties we're coming from. We don't have disclaimers in the province currently. So this issue, indeed, we are looking at it, but as I said, consequence management, it's one of the most difficult issues. Revenue generation, which leads to unfunded mandates, which also causes audit problems. So the points are taken. We will continue to work with our municipalities, but we've got one of the best functioning work streams, our governance and, of course, financial improvement, financial management. So we're quite sure that we will see results. And I would like to say, in this audit cycle that is coming for municipalities, it's just I don't have a cow, otherwise I'll bet it. We should see good improvement. If I had, I'll put it on the table. But we're positive that there should be positive audit outcomes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Sorry.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. I think now we have reached the encroachment in terms of violating the rules. We have passed the 2 hours, which is set aside for question time. And I believe that we should adjourn, allow members to go prepare for the debate on Friday, allow those who are studying to go and prepare for their exams. Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. Thank you.
Is this a decision from Wipari? Is it your view, or it's a decision that comes from maybe out of a meeting or consultation with the whips?
No, thank you very much. I think there are rules, Madam Speaker. It's a rule that question time is set aside for 2 hours. We have passed the 2-hour mark.
Not Chief Whip. In the last sitting, where Bishop, I remember, asked for, you were not here, but there was a decision in a consultation. So in as much as it's rules, there was that consideration, but at least there was courtesy given by the chair at the time that whips can they meet and then we proceed. We will never finish, Chief Whip, and all of you whips, we'll never finish. If we leave this because of Friday, this bulk is going to, but that's not me refusing what you're proposing. But I was just checking that just on this aspect. Is Wipari agreeing, are members agreeing that we must adjourn the House? Yes, Whip. If not, it's fine. I'll get other views, but I just wanted to finish with you on that one. That is it out of Whip's consultation? If not, colleagues? Okay, there's a view of continuing. Chief Whip is speaking about rules, but I wanted to be guided by at least a Wipari decision without deviating from the rules.
Madam Chair, Deputy Speaker.
Yes, Member Ali.
Thank you, DS. I just wanted to find out if we still have the presentation by the IEC after the sitting, and if we have a rough estimation of how long that will take. I'm of the view that that's also very important in preparation for the elections coming up. So I think that also throws a bit of a spanner in the works because we have that presentation. If they are here, they can maybe give us an indication of how long that will take. Usually these things are no less than an hour. So that's something that we can also factor in that needs to happen now over and above what the Chief Whip has just highlighted. Thank you.
I believe they are here. I think I saw them. Yes, they are here. Member Diaga.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. We cannot continuously do this. Members on this side of the House been sitting patiently waiting to ask their questions. And if we now say we're going to postpone this, then we're not going to finish it by the end of this fourth term either. And questions are going to be left to unanswered. Perhaps the problem is because the MECs are often reading a thesis instead of answering a question. If we can get the MECs to answer questions to the point and not read a crazy thesis, then we would get through these questions. But unfortunately, because of that, we will have to stay here and answer the questions. Thank you.
That's noted, Chief.
Thank you very much. I think we should not get into a habit of negotiating the rules. If we want to change this rule, which now the rules are up for review, we can change it. But it's a rule. Question time is 2 hours. This decision is also informed by the fact that Member Ali has raised a very fundamental issue, that immediately after the House sitting, there's a presentation by the IEC. So we've kept them waiting. We must take that presentation from the IEC so that we understand what the next year's elections entails. And I think the suggestion that we can make, which we have to enforce, Madam Deputy Speaker, is that all the questions that have not been answered here, MECs must submit them, and so that they are on the record. Because you can never finish responding to questions. We had a special House sitting dedicated simply to dealing with outstanding questions. By the time we got to that sitting, there were 40 more questions. So you can never end questions that are sent to the executive. So we are humbly asking that we adjourn this part of the sitting, allow the IEC to come in and take us through what local government entails, and we take it from there. Let's not negotiate with the rules of the House. Thank you very much.
Chair, Madam Speaker.
Let me suggest this. It is the discretion of the presiding officer to go beyond the rules, Chief. We've done it before. If we today decide to adjourn, let's not feel like there is something extremely wrong that we're doing, in as much as it's a rule to do 1 hour. But if we feel today, for the reasons of IEC and everything else, the House agrees or the WIPARI agrees, then let's do it. But let's not have, because I can tell you the past and preceding, we've gone out of this House at 4 because of the number of questions, and it has not been illegal thus far. So I'm saying if WIPARI agrees, the same way we did it last time, I'm easy. But I'm saying in future you must expect my discretion on this matter. I'm not very happy about it because we'll be stuck with the same thing. These 1 hour's member statements, all of you want to speak, and that's not curtailed, Chief Whip. The NC speaks together with the DA. They've got more members and they speak a lot. Not they speak a lot, but it pushes back the time. This 1 hour and 2 hours you expect will not fit in everything that you do. When you're supposed to do announcements, you do member statements. You do all sorts of things here, not respecting the time. Then we must do questions in 1 hour. It's impossible. So I'm just saying, be reasonable as we enforce the laws, help the House. There are 35 questions, which after Friday will go back again. There will be 55 in the next week because we are not working together or cooperating. I don't agree. When it's me who's chairing, in the next time, I'll use my discretion, we'll finish questions. I just don't. Where are we so that I get a sense from them as well? Member Ali, I think you've mentioned that a point there. Are you deviating?
I wish to second Honourable Makubela. Thank you, Chair.
Member Abraham.
Deputy Speaker, thank you very much. I would just like to confirm that our whip is not here. However, we are just communicating with him right now, so we can't agree or disagree as yet. Thank you.
Okay. Member Ngobeni.
No, Chair, I think in principle we agree. I think we also want to emphasize that the Chief Whip of the ANC need to consider that there is a custom that we consult from time to time, even if it's in the rules. So just call us out, we talk, and then we come in, so that we can be able to keep the decorum of the House and the process as easy as possible.
Member Bishop.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. You are correct. In the last sitting, when I was presiding, I called Chief the Wipri together. I think that must happen. The Wipri must discuss it, but I would think that we must finish the questions today. Thank you so much, Honourable Deputy Speaker.
Okay. Yes,
Madam Deputy Speaker.
Yes, let's say we have a MEC on the platform. I'll come back to you. Sorry, on the mic.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I would also second the decision or proposal, rather, to adjourn today. But I just want to add the context, as has been raised by Honourable Adams. In the previous discussion, one of the proposals that was made was that we also need to ensure that the Secretariat takes that into consideration in tabling the questions for the day. We are able to estimate on average, let's say a question takes 7 minutes or 10 minutes. Before the session even starts, one can see that this is not going to take 2 hours, especially if you incorporate member statements and all other things. So my appeal is that can we enforce that request that was made previously with the Wipri, by the Wipri, that we also schedule appropriately for the amount of time that's allocated. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe let me profusely apologize to the party whips, but I'm happy that we have consensus on the matter, and thank you for prompting that there should be that consultation even if it happens in the House. And thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I still wanted to raise a point. Thank you. I agree with Member Adams that so there's not consensus on this issue, Chief Whip, all due respect. There's a way in which we also need to put questions on the order paper, that it should follow based on the representation in the House. Because what's happening right now, all the questions from my colleagues in the Democratic Alliance are at the bottom. So nobody here has asked a single question today, because it's all the sweetheart questions that get pushed to the top, and the questions that we need answers on are not being answered. So, Chair, I cannot agree with this, and we do not agree with the fact that these questions are just being pushed to the back, and maybe we see them being answers, maybe we won't. But it still comes back to the fact that MSCs are wasting time in reading a thesis because clearly they do not understand their portfolios. So can we make sure, your voice irritates me, can we please just make sure that we answer questions to the point and we do not have a thesis? Thank you, Chair, but we do not agree that questions should be left or not remain unanswered.
Deputy Speaker.
Yes, Member Adams.
Yes, thank you very much, Deputy Adams, Abrams, yes, Mons. You are forgiven. Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Yes, as economic freedom fighters, we agree for adjournment. Thank you.
Okay, let me do this for my comfort as well, unfortunately. You've all spoken, I've heard you. Can the whips go out? Ne? For the simple reason that, let me also defend these colleagues from the table. They put the questions in the order in which they receive them. Chief Whip, having had gone to the procedural briefing, we receive these things in this order. So when I have to make a U-turn in the middle of, it disorganizes everybody in anything, notwithstanding that these rules of 1 hour, 2 hours, and so on. So maybe from the procedural briefing, we must receive at least 20 questions. Leave the rest because we raise each other's hopes and so on and so forth. So another person who was on the platform like Schneemann was supposed to have presented and all that they have prepared. So when we've got 35 questions and we know we're going to be 2 hours, Let's then not have this many questions. Because it looks clumsy that we've got 35 questions, we knew all of us, we adopted the program. Then in the middle of all that, we are taking this thing to the next sitting, which has its own outstanding issues. So in as much as I'm aligned with the thing, but I strongly feel that we should have proceeded. If you check Chief Whip and all of you colleagues, in the past we've tried to push, because things have relatively changed. You are many now in the House, you are 8. We didn't have that in the past. Member statements are many. There's thesis of Member Diaga and all those things, Chief Whip. So just out of courtesy and decency, can you, while I give Member Schneemann Ilon just 2 minutes to have that, notwithstanding in Member Diagan's note, yeah, the views, you've heard the views, but please do that so that I'm able to then say, I'll be guided from there, or rather I'll take a decision when you've done that. Member Msimang.
Madam Speaker, I think I do have a solution that we don't need to then go out for. That we allow the presentation to then take place, and then immediately afterward we continue with the questions. I'm raising this, and I'll tell you why I'm raising this. How many times in this House have I questioned the days in which we have to deal with questions? How many times in this House have I said that the time that is allocated is not practically enough to be... Today we never even have follow-up questions, and we wanted to prove a point. We never even asked a single follow-up questions because we wanted to prove a point that even if you only ask the question and the person that has asked the initial question is asking a follow-up question on their own, the time is still not enough. So we have proven that time and time again. And if you're saying, when you don't want to then continue with this, when are we going to then have the sitting going forward?
Member Fuchs, you will be switched off fast and quick. Fast and quick, switch off Fuchs Bandas.
So, Madam Speaker, this is the point I'm making is that we keep pushing a problem further and further out, because some of the questions are stemming from the previous time that are now here, and we are now saying we're pushing them further out. When are we going to have an end to this thing? So I'm asking humbly that let us deal with these things, and let us get back to the sittings and then deal and complete the order of the day. Lest we are told by the Chief Whip that we are going to have extra days where we will then be able to then deal with this. If you don't want to do that, then I'm suggesting that we continue to do work. Thank you.
Okay, I'm inclined to agree with this. Chief Whip, there is this proposal, adjournment totally, and listen and give IEC time to present. There's a view that says, and that's why I said we must go outside, because we could have come back by now. So there's a view that now we must entertain. There are just 2 motions, and by not because once we do this, because I want to finish the business of the day, but if in your majority you say let's adjourn and give IEC, then that's fine. Thanks, colleagues. I'll give Member Schneemann so that we give these colleagues time to do this. Members, really. If we are going to have 20 questions and they are linked to 2 hours, then let's do that. It looks clumsy to be leaving things in the middle, as this thing that we are supposed to do. It looks very clumsy. Because there's a reason why everybody has got a role. Planners must plan, organizers must organize. Question people must do exactly that. People must do exactly that. Member Mazibo, which one this is Mandas? So good one, yeah, fully thesis. So I'm just saying all of us have got a role to play, not to look like this, especially in front of our visitors. Anyway, Member Schneemann, I'll give it to you to at least ask your questions to Upumile. Emisima Mabulo is standing in for Emisima Iluhambile nai. Akoko bantu. Kuselo Zibuko, Upumember refill. Ukona? Oh. Bengifuna umember nseke abuze uMazibuko. Ikhona kaMazibuko? Oh, ewe ndikhona yes. Okay, ABC, just to quickly ambush you, Member Schneemann was going to ask a questions. The whips have stepped out a bit. So, yes. Member Schneemann, please go ahead. Okay, he's starting now.
Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. The question is as follows. Given the increasing number of sinkholes along provincial roads in Gauteng, could the MEC please indicate the following? 1, the state of preparedness of the department to respond to sinkholes as and when they appear. 2, whether the department has the requisite expertise to respond to and carry out repairs where sinkholes appear. And 3, how many sinkholes currently exist along the provincial road network, and what is the current status of each sinkhole? And for the members of that side of the House, this is not a sweetheart question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, yes. Thank you, MEC.
Yes, thank you very much, Honourable Schneemann. I wasn't aware that you changed the balance of forces unfavorably. The reply to the question is the occurrence of sinkholes. It's a development that normally takes place without advanced warning. Therefore, the department can only become aware of the occurrence of sinkholes after they have occurred. Upon occurring, the first action is to make the road safe for the road users. This is an action that is normally undertaken within 24 hours of the sinkhole occurring. After making the road safe, the department then proceeds to appoint a professional service provider for the assessment of the sinkhole, after which appropriate remedial action is then recommended. In instances where the department has existing service providers appointed for specific roads, sinkholes are immediately attended to through those service providers. However, where no service provider is appointed, the department must initiate a procurement process to appoint one. It should be noted that the department does not maintain a dedicated panel for emergency works. Secondly, the department does not have internal capacity to take care of sinkholes. Rehabilitation of the sinkhole is normally done through outsourced service providers. Lastly, there are currently 3 reported sinkholes in the department that the department is monitoring, and the first one is 563 in Krugersdorp area, and then R23 Snake Road, and P1221 in Pretoria. Rehabilitation on P1221 will be completed in November 2025. Rehabilitation of the R23 sinkhole will commence during this month of November 2025, while we are still waiting for the assessment report on the R563 sinkhole. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. Thanks to the MEC for the response. I asked this question because we're starting to see more and more possible indications of sinkholes developing, and it's something that could become a more regular occurrence. And that's why I've asked the question. But I take note of the response, and the Portfolio Committee has also been taking up the issue of sinkholes quite seriously. But I'd like to ask the following question, if I may. Has any research or study been undertaken that would provide an indication of focus areas on the provincial road network that needs to be monitored for any signs of possible sinkholes? And if not, will such research or study, I think there is researchers and scientists do have an understanding, and geologists, of particular areas that are possibly prone to sinkholes. So if we could just get some response, or if the MEC for Transport can reply in writing. Thanks very much.
MEC.
Thank you for the follow-up questions. Just 2 points, and I hope we don't be accused of grandstanding when we are providing detailed, comprehensive answers, honourable members. Now, let me say that the Council for Geoscience does have a proper mapping baseline of risks in our province, and they've given this as a report in a workshop that we held with all our municipalities and different academics institutions. Just last month, we held such a workshop in Krugersdorp. And there is a report of where the risks are. And let me also indicate that we also need integration so that sinkholes like the ones that you have asked about, we can be able to have one common approach to the National Disaster Management Center so that these disasters can be funded through the fund itself. So I think one of the issues that we will have to do as COGTA is to do an overall coordination, working with human settlements, working with roads and transport, because these two departments, together with DID and the municipalities, get affected. So I think a common, holistic, integrated approach is what is going to help us. Otherwise, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. MEC Mamabolo and MEC Mazibuko, I'll just have to carry on with you because you're the only two present. Honorable Maile is online. Oh, okay. There are questions of finance, right, Comrade? Okay. Oh, we done. Okay. There is MEC Peters here. What? You cut and paste in Ibona Bandasea Majan. Who's MEC Peters? We don't have, ne? No. I want questions that are directed to the MECs that are present. So I'm trying to. I'm doing exactly that. I'm doing exactly that. I want order because this thing, people of online are not a priority. For me, priority are the questions of the MECs that are here. So hence, I'm going through every page to see which questions are directed to MEC Mamabolo, which questions are directed to MEC Mazibuko. That's why I keep on asking who is where. Was I program here to Imoshagel? I'm doing that. Who can members are sitting online? Ageko online, ne? Oh, okay.
No, I'm here, Chair.
Oh, you're there. Please ask a member, MEC Mazibuko. Who MEC Health, is she online? Or is the person who's taking the questions for her? Okay. She's online. MEC, are you online? Health?
Yes, ma'am, I'm online, dear.
Okay. After Mazibuko, I guess we'll come to you.
Okay, thanks.
Members are sitting, yes. The platform is yours.
Oh, thank you, Deputy Speaker. Allow me, Deputy Speaker, to take this opportunity to greet all of you in the House and take the question to the Honorable MEC for the Social Development, MEC Faith Mazibuko. The department has recently announced an extension of the funding application period for non-profit organizations to allow more time for submissions of following challenges experienced in the new online application system. The department also indicated in its ongoing commitment to supporting NPOs and transition towards a fully digital and paperless funding management. For the MEC, indicate the following. What measures have been put in place to ensure that all NPOs, especially smaller community-based organizations with limited digital access, are adequately supported to the use of the new online funding system? 2, what steps has the department taken to prevent further technical challenges that may hinder NPOs successful applying for submitting compliance documents through online platform? 3, how will the department ensure that the transition to a digital system enhances accountability, efficiency, and timely disbursement of funds to NPOs, delivering essential social service across Gauteng. 4, given the technical glitches, does the department have an alternative safe system of submitting application? And lastly, does the department have a system which ensures recourse in a case where applicants feel they were treated unfairly in their submissions or handling of their applications, either because of system glitches or the process itself and the submission of the supporting document? I thank you, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. MEC Mazibuko.
Thank you very much, Honourable Deputy Speaker. In responding to question number 1, the department has conducted multiple training sessions with NPOs across the 5 corridors to teach them how to use the online system. And furthermore, the department established an NPO support team dedicated to responding to any queries that NPOs may have. And these efforts were part of the department's commitment in ensuring that all support is given to NPOs, particularly the smaller NPOs that are community-based. In responding to question number 2, the department has established a centralized email address where NPOs who experience challenges are able to submit via that email. In responding to question number 3 of how are we going to ensure that the digital system enhances accountability, the shift to paperless application and adjudication process is designed to reduce red tape within the department's funding processes, and this will enable fast assessments through live reporting at each adjudication stage, thereby improving efficiency and accountability. In responding to question number 4, yes, the department uses centralized email system as a safe alternative for submitting applications. In responding to the last question, or if does the department have a system which ensures recourse in case applicants feel they were not treated fairly, yes, the department has an appeals committee where an NPO can lodge an appeal regarding the final outcome of their presentation. Thank you, Nyabo.
Member, who's the member who asked? Sorry, I was disturbed a bit. Member Sasedinyane, do you have a follow-up?
No, not at all. I'm happy with the response, Deputy Speaker. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. The Chief Whip, the platform is yours.
No, thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. I think the party whips have met. We've agreed that the outstanding questions, there's already a sitting which was already identified and programmed by the programming committee, which was to deal with questions. So all questions will be dealt with on the 25th, all those questions that are there. But also, and a very important reminder is that by the end of this week, we would have put a ceiling on all questions that are supposed to follow. So anyone who wants to, any member who wants to ask a question should have done that by Friday. And I think there was also a statement of a thesis, MECs responding with thesis. I think MECs must have to respond in terms of the detail of the question. If the question asks for detail, then the responses will be detailed. So we cannot curtail MEC responses so that they give executive summary, because it might misrepresent the responses that they give to questions. But I think we amicably agreed that we adjourn the House and all the remaining questions be dealt with on the sitting of the 25th, and then we allow the IEC to come in. We also want to appeal that the members must not leave as the IEC enters, because this information is very important for all of us, so that we take the IEC with us. And we must apologize most profusely to you, Madam Deputy Speaker, and your invited guests on this time that we took to deal with this. Thank you.
Rules and things like that. The rule is this one that we're agreeing on. 25th, Yongino, no follow-up member soul. Goro. Thank you very much. So, My dear colleagues, we've come to the end of the business for today. The House is adjourned. IEC, it's not adjourned most for IEC, it's adjourned for this session. So yeah, as you were for the IEC presentation. Thank you very much. And thanks to my guests and everybody who attended the sitting.
For those people that get too tired to answer questions, it's time for you to retire.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Distinguished members of this House, good afternoon. My name is Mosotho Moepia. I'm chairperson of the Electoral Commission of South Africa. With me are the following: the vice chairperson of the commission, Ms. Janet Love, the deputy chief electoral officer for electoral operations, Mr. Masego Shiburi, the provincial electoral officer,